major components of air conditioners, plus 20 other home systems and appliances, like electrical systems, plumbing, refrigerators, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-400-7011. Homeowners insurance can cover what might happen.
Zombies are coming!
But a home warranty helps cover what will happen.
Now the dryer won't work.
Be sure with the Shield. American Home Shield. For valuable free information, call 1-800-400-7011. That's 1-800-400-7011. 1-800-400-7011.
One of the biggest fears for retirees and soon-to-be retirees, do I have enough? Do I have enough money to last for the rest of my life? I hear it every day when I meet with individuals, and it's for good reason. Check this statistic out. If you were born in 1800, you could expect to live until you were 39 years old. In 1900, 49. That number jumped to 68 in 1950, and today it's 79. How many people do you know that are in their 80s, in their 90s? Hi, this is Tom Fortino, host of the Alpha Wealth Hour, heard every Saturday at 9 a.m. here on AM 560. So how do you help ensure you never run out of money in retirement? The answers are in our special report, Maximizing Income in Retirement. In this powerful report, you'll discover successful tools and strategies on how to help turbocharge your income in retirement and how to position and protect your money regardless of what happens in the stock market. Call now to receive this report, Maximizing Income in Retirement, and will include 6 strategies to tax-free income. Call the Alpha Wealth Group, 630-519-4742 right now to receive your free report. That's 630-519-4742. 4742.
Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, Inc.
5:10. Let's get an update on that morning commute. It's been a mess overnight. We expect the same this morning so far in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, but for the full details, here comes Jim Talamonte. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Mike. It's been one jackknife semi after another. We got 2 on the outbound Kennedy right now. One at Kimball, 2 left lanes are blocked. One at Addison that's been there for a while. That has now moved to the right shoulder. That has helped to diminish some of the congestion in that area. Just fairly brief slowdowns approaching Kimball and approaching Addison at the moment. You can expect that backup at Kimball to grow, though, as that one is fairly new. Down Stevenson at First Avenue, a crash in the left lane. Northbound Tri-State on the ramp to the westbound Reagan-Gilbert. Right lane's blocked as a tow truck clears a crash. Northbound I-65 heavy from US 30 to 73rd Avenue. Crash in the right lane. Traffic service at Firestone Complete Auto Care. At Firestone Complete Auto Care, they've been putting tires on cars since 1926. They know when the road gets rough, you need a set of tires that can get tough. Get $60 on a Firestone Visa prepaid card by mail. You purchase a set of 4 eligible Firestone tires. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 for The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answers starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. We get the latest with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today mostly cloudy and breezy. A little rain for the morning, followed by spotty drizzle for the afternoon. High today, 63. Mostly cloudy through the night tonight with a low 54. Then remaining mostly cloudy tomorrow, high 65. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently, we have 60 at O'Hare, 58 along the lakefront, 59 at Midway, and 61 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update is at 5:30. Continuous news coverage at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth. Tune in Saturday afternoons at 2 for Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So the human stain heads to rehab.
Oh,
quote unquote.
Come on.
The human stain.
Didn't we ban the S word yesterday?
Harv the perv.
Oh, he's so gross.
Or worse, it continues to get worse as stories continue to bubble to the surface in this New Yorker bombshell yesterday. And how ironic is it that Ronan Farrow is the author of this piece?
Why? Oh, because
he's Woody Allen's son. That's why. I know. Yeah. 3 women, among them.
I still think he's Frank Sinatra's son, but okay.
We'll litigate that later.
Okay, we'll do a DNA test later.
3 women told Ronan Farrow that Harvey Weinstein raped them.
allegations including forcibly performing and or receiving, 4 women say they experienced unwanted touching that could be classified as an assault. And an audio recording has surfaced from a New York Police Department sting operation in 2015. And remember, we talked about this yesterday. Cyrus Vance, the prosecuting attorney in New York at the time, declined to prosecute Harvey Weinstein. He later receives a $10,000 donation from Weinstein's lawyer. But the New York Police Department, there was enough complaints, allegations against Weinstein to warrant an undercover sting operation, 2015, and it involved a Filipina-Italian model named Ambra Gutierrez. And this is Ambra Gutierrez on tape, undercover sting.
And he's trying to get her to go into his hotel room.
Oh, I think it's obvious what he's trying to get her to do.
I wasn't sure at first.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now.
What do we have to do here?
Nothing. I'm going to take a shower. You sit there and have a drink. Water.
I don't drink.
Have
Can
a
I
glass of
stay
water.
on the bar?
No, you must come here now.
No.
Please.
No, I don't want to.
I'm not doing anything with you.
I
now
know.
you're embarrassing me.
I'm
Now
sorry. I
No,
cannot.
come in
No,
here.
yesterday was a kind of aggressive for
I
me.
know.
I need to know a person to
I
be
won't
touched.
do a thing.
I don't
Do a thing, please. I swear I won't. Just sit with me. Don't embarrass me in the hotel. I'm here all the time.
I
Sit
know,
with me.
but
I
I don't
promise.
want to.
Please sit there. Please. 1 minute.
No,
I
I
ask
can't.
you. Go to the bathroom.
Please, I don't want to do something I don't want
Go
to.
to the bathroom. Hey, come here. Listen to me.
I want to go downstairs.
I'm not going to do anything. You'll never see me again after this. Okay? That's it. If you embarrass me in this hotel,
I'm not
I'll stay.
embarrassing you.
Just
It's just
walk.
that I don't feel comfortable.
I mean, don't have a fight with me in the
It's not
hall.
nice.
Please, I'm not going to do anything. I swear, my children. Please come in. On everything. I'm a famous guy.
I'm feeling very uncomfortable right
Please
now.
come in now. And 1 minute. And if you want to leave, when the guy comes with my
Why
jacket, you can
yesterday
go.
you touched my wrist?
Oh, please, I'm sorry. Just come on. I'm used to that. Come on.
Are you used to that?
Yes, come in. Because
No, but I'm not used to that.
I won't do it again. Come on. Sit here. Sit here for a minute, please.
No, I don't want to.
If you do this now, you will embarrass me. But no. Fine. Never call me again. Okay? I'm sorry. I promise you I won't do anything.
I know, but yesterday was too
The
much
guy's
for me.
coming. I will never do another thing to you. 5 minutes. Don't ruin your friendship with me for 5 minutes.
I know, but it's kind of like, it's too much for me. I can't.
Please, you're making a big scene here.
No,
Please.
but I want to leave.
Okay. Goodbye.
I want to punch him in the face.
By the way, his wife also leaving, not to go to rehab, quote unquote, but she's just separating.
Yeah, because she thought all this bad behavior stopped when they got married in 2007. And that tape, folks, was recorded in 2015. I'm so sorry, ma'am.
I don't know how to break this to you.
I don't know how to tell you.
16 former and current executives and assistants at Weinstein's companies told Ronan Farrow that they had witnessed or had knowledge of unwanted sexual advances and touching at events associated with Weinstein's films and in the workplace. They and others describe a pattern of professional meetings that were little more than thin pretexts for sexual advances on young actresses and models.
And two of the actresses, Gwyneth Paltrow and Angelina Jolie, came forward yesterday.
Oh,
and said-
yesterday.
yeah.
Oh,
yesterday.
Oh, yesterday.
Well-
hey, everybody. It's safe to come out and pile on.
No, it's hard because I've been there when you're sexually harassed and you don't know what to do because this person has so much power and you're afraid you're not going to get a gig in Hollywood. But funny, at the time, Gwyneth Paltrow's boyfriend was Brad Pitt, and he threatened the movie mogul and said, "Don't you touch them. Don't harass her. Don't call her back to your hotel room." Because in both cases, he called the ladies who weren't big stars back then in the 90s, in the early 90s, called them to his hotel room, tried to give them a massage. It's the same thing. It's the same MO with everyone. He wants them to watch him take a shower, and then he tries to massage them. And in 3 of the 16 cases that you mentioned, he raped them. Well, Ronan Farrow.
Well, allegedly.
Allegedly. Ronan Farrow, who has been working on the story for 10 months, spoke yesterday.
Uncanny similarities exist between each of these women's stories. They talk about a pretext of a professional meeting that is then moved to a hotel and a hotel room. Many of them refer to offers for a massage. 16 assistants and executives, former and current, talked about a culture of silence in the company, talked about how they witnessed inappropriate activity.
But they didn't come forward because he owned the company and they didn't want to lose their job.
Ronan Farrow also said that he was threatened personally with a lawsuit while, I guess, putting together this story, investigating and asking impertinent questions, at least according to Weinstein. Here's the thing, though. Big joke in Hollywood. It's a big joke in Hollywood until now. 30 Rock, an episode of 30 Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Jane Krakowski in 30 Rock.
Don't do it, J-Mo. You don't want to mess with Weird Al.
Oh, please. I'm not afraid of anyone in show business. I turned down intercourse with Harvey Weinstein on no less than 3 occasions out of 5.
And then when they were announcing...
Isn't that funny?
No, yeah, 2013.
Is it funny now?
Yeah. When they announced the 2013 Oscar nominations, Seth MacFarlane joked about Harvey Weinstein and about the women who were up for an Oscar.
Congratulations, you 5 ladies no longer have to pretend to be attracted to Harvey Weinstein.
Isn't it funny now? Nobody knew. They're all aghast. What was going on? He was doing what? Oh, I'm outraged, says Meryl Streep and Judi Dench and Gwyneth Paltrow and Angelina Jolie now. Oh, and by the way, hey, it's safe to come out. President Obama, Hillary Clinton, come on. You can pile on now.
And they had similar statements.
Michelle and I have been disgusted by the recent reports about Harvey Weinstein.
They entrusted him with their daughter. She had an internship there last summer. Mm-hmm. That's why they took so long to come out.
PHAT posse leader Hill Dog, the behavior described by women coming forward cannot be tolerated. Their courage and the support of others is critical in helping to stop this kind of behavior. She's outraged. She's outraged.
Yeah, her hair is on fire. I can just feel it with the rhetoric there.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm sure he behaved himself with the first daughter, Malia Obama, right? Right? Any guarantees? We don't know. That guy's a pervert. Did you hear the desperation in his voice? No, don't leave me because he's so insecure. Breezy today, a little morning rain followed by some spotty drizzle. We should be able to get in the division series game between the Cubs and the Nats. Starts at 3 o'clock this afternoon at Wrigley Field. Then tonight, mostly cloudy, and tomorrow cloudy, a high of 65 degrees. Let's get into our alarm detection systems. Traffic center real sloppy on the roadways there, especially on the outbound Kennedy, huh, Jim?
That's right, Amy. Good morning. Good morning, Dan. The outbound Kennedy now is blocked entirely. All lanes are from Addison to Pulaski. We've had a couple of jackknife semis in that area, and the latest one involves an IDOT vehicle and also a state trooper vehicle. Traffic's at a standstill from California to Addison, where, again, nobody's getting through. Seek an alternate. The inbound side is okay, just maybe a brief gaper slowdown. Inbound Stevenson, traffic's backed up now between the Des Plaines River Bridge and First Avenue, where there's a crash now on the left shoulder. Inbound Ryan, a little heavy approaching downtown. I-57 Bishopfort, slight delays approaching the merge. Northbound Tri-State heavy, 31st to the Reagan Tollway. The right lane's blocked on the ramp to westbound 88 to clean up an earlier crash. And northbound I-65 has delays, US 30 to 73rd Avenue. Crash in the right lane. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, you know you secretly want to be a rock star? Well, ChicagoRadioDeals.com can put you one step closer to living out your dream with these amazing deals from our good friends at Midlothian Music. You can bang on the drums all day with your own Tamara Imperial Star 5-piece drum kit that includes cymbals, stands, and throne for only $350. That's a $700 value. Or create your own sound with a Casio digital piano, which feels and sounds like a real piano. This keyboard is also $350 and comes with a matching stand. Midlothian Music is dedicated to bringing you the best selection of American-made, handcrafted instruments. Plus, you'll experience exceptional customer service with every purchase. Find all these rockin' deals and much more only at ChicagoRadioDeals.com.
My name is David Hochberg, Vice President Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're purchasing a home, give me a call. A borrower called me after contacting the lender, who boasts about having the lowest rates and closing costs because he thought my competitors' closing costs were excessively high. I compared loan estimates and the interest rates were identical, but our definitions of low closing costs were a lot different. Fact is, my closing costs were over $1,000 less than the lender claiming to have the lowest closing costs. When purchasing a home, you can either work with the lender, who talks and talks and talks and talks about low closing costs, or you can work with me, a lender who actually has low closing costs. Then think of all the things you could do with an extra $1,000 when we originate your loan, like pay for the movers, buy a new computer, new TV, maybe new carpet for your new house. I've helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but I can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage License T 4358, and MLS 19186.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I started out vomiting with migraines at the age of 19, and about 10 years later, it got to the point where it was almost every day. This stuck with me for about another 20 years. When I was introduced to this Balance of Nature, I couldn't believe how quickly the triggers that would cause these migraines just went away.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND. That's balanceofnature.com. Promo code WIND.
One of the biggest fears for retirees and soon-to-be retirees, do I have enough? Do I have enough money to last for the rest of my life? I hear it every day when I meet with individuals, and it's for good reason. Check this statistic out. If you were born in 1800, you could expect to live until you were 39 years old. In 1900, 49. That number jumped to 68 in 1950, and today it's 79. How many people do you know that are in their 80s, in their 90s? Hi, this is Tom Fortino, host of the Alpha Wealth Hour, heard every Saturday at 9 a.m. here on AM 560. So how do you help ensure you never run out of money in retirement? The answers are in our special report, Maximizing Income in Retirement. In this powerful report, you'll discover successful tools and strategies on how to help turbocharge your income in retirement and how to position and protect your money regardless of what happens in the stock market. Call now to receive this report, Maximizing Income in Retirement, and will include 6 strategies to tax-free income. Call the Alpha Wealth Group, 630-519-4742 right now to receive your free report. That's 630-519-4742.
Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, Inc.
AM 560, The Answer.
So many issues in this Harvey Weinstein case. The failure to prosecute, and Cyrus Vance has some answering to do about that. The rape allegations, some may still be within the statute of limitations, depending on the nature of them and the particular laws in New York or California where these events allegedly occurred. The media, NBC passing on the story.
What do you mean? No, last night it was the second story on Nightly News.
No. Passing on the story prior to it breaking.
Oh, prior to breaking.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. All those elites.
Well, they're protecting their own. I mean, think the president trusted this man so much that he sent his daughter there for an internship. That speaks volumes. And they knew darn well what was going on with that man before they sent Malia over there to L.A.
Steve in Hinsdale, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, Amy, I don't think he's a pervert. I think there's a bunch of old dudes like me that wouldn't mind having a trophy like one of those women. What I find amazing is he's a fat, ugly guy. I thought he was Michael Moore.
You thought he was what? You thought he was
Michael Moore's brother.
Oh, Michael Moore's brother.
Yeah, he's just a loser. Goodbye.
Bye.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks for the call, Steve. I don't think. I think he's more than a pervert. He's allegedly a rapist. So that's not funny.
No.
Not funny at all. And so there's different categories of women here, too, because I know people have suggested, women who use sex to advance their careers, well, that's a moral problem, and it is. But we're talking about women who are alleging sexual assault and rape. So that's a different thing.
And Gwyneth Paltrow, she said once, Brad Pitt confronted Harvey Weinstein at a movie premiere and said, don't you dare put a finger on her or touch her ever again. She said that he then screamed at her and said, don't speak to anyone else about this. She said, I thought he was going to fire me. He screamed at me for a very long time. It was brutal. Angelina Jolie, she said after that incident with him in a hotel room, she refused to be affiliated or participate in any project, film, anything else having to do with Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
And she was true to her word because she did not want to be around a pervert. Also coming...
although she didn't do anything publicly about it or in any material way. So, let's be very restrained with our application of heroinism in this case, from what I've seen so far.
Another woman that came forward, this actress, do you know her? Mira
Sorvino.
Mira Sorvino. She was on KTLA's show. It's their version of WGN's morning show. They weren't expecting her to talk.
He has a lot of strengths. A lot of people admire him, including myself, for many of his talents. But this is not the way that men can act towards women anymore in this country. It is just not.
Never
and so
was.
the more all these cases come to light and the more people have the courage to speak out, the more that young women will be protected, and maybe we'll move into a future where my daughter is not going to have to be worried about being harassed on the job, and that it'll be a meritocracy. Will be based on her willingness to play ball with her male boss in order to get ahead, and to be spurned and punished if she's not.
Yeah. This is not the way that men treat women anymore. Spare me. It never was acceptable. It's never the way men should, and that's what we're talking about, treat women. And, of course, there will always be louts in this world, or predators. There always will
She
be.
said many more women are going to come forward.
Will we be hearing a lot more about it? Whatever's coming out from you shortly?
It's not. I'm part of a much larger piece, but it's a pretty damning piece, and it's more serious than the New York Times one.
Wow. It sounds like you've had some experience in dealing with him. I mean, I don't want you to break your
I can't really, right now. But I'm telling you, in an hour or so, you'll be, oh, okay, and you'll just read it, and you'll be like, oh, okay.
I see.
And then I'll be free to talk about it.
Well, we'll have you stay till 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Not everyone, though. Lilo. Does anybody still know her by that? Lindsay Lohan.
Oh.
Lilo? What was her mashup cool hip Hollywood moniker? I don't know. I feel very bad for Harvey Weinstein right now. I don't think it's right what's going on regarding his wife, who intends to file for divorce. Lohan said his wife needs to take a stand and be there for her husband. Well, she's gonna have to chase him to Europe, where he's going to rehab to learn to be a human being.
And she should get checked for venereal diseases. His wife should, because he was a pretty disgusting human being. So he's going to rehab in Europe?
So should all the plants in their houses. In their houses, plural.
Yeah. He's going to Europe? I've never heard of European sex addiction clinics.
You have now.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
The coach on the history of racial oppression.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
59 degrees, rain showers this morning. 17 have lost their lives. The death toll from Northern California's wildfires climb. One of the worst firestorms in California history, destroying 2,000 homes and businesses.
That is unfortunately expected to go higher because really it's still a search and rescue effort. The fire went through so quickly through a lot of these neighborhoods that rescuers and first responders just haven't been able to get in.
Brian Mays with the California Office of Emergency Services, and there are wildfires burning in Orange County, California as well. Movie executive Harvey Weinstein on his way to Europe to enter sex rehab there, according to TMZ. The 65-year-old movie producer and mogul seeking treatment, according to the company, for sex addiction after being accused of harassing women for years.
I pulled my arm away, finally, and headed to the door. He started following me and telling me that he could introduce me to Bob Weinstein and that I could get a 3-picture deal and that he would greenlight my script. But I had to watch him masturbate.
Loisette Geist came forward yesterday to tell of an encounter that allegedly happened in 2008 at the Sundance Film Festival. President Trump says a report that White House Chief of Staff John Kelly is about to be fired is what he calls fake news. No national news organization has picked up that story. President Trump says he'll soon sign an executive order allowing people to purchase health insurance across state lines.
They'll be able to buy, they'll be able to cross state lines, and they will get great competitive health care, and it will cost the United States nothing. But it will be great health care for many, many people.
It's all part of the failure of Obamacare, according to the administration at the White House, and a failure to act and repeal and replace that piece of health insurance reform. The U.S. Supreme Court tossing a challenge to President Trump's travel ban, the court dismissing an appeals court ruling that struck down the now previously expired ban targeting several mostly Muslim countries. Last night's Game 4 of the National League Division Series between the Cubs and Nationals rained out. The game will likely be played today at 3:08 Central Time, with the Cubs leading the best of 5, 2-1. Cook County Commissioners putting a cork in the controversial penny-an-ounce sweetened drink tax. Full board expected to fully approve that repeal later today. If all goes planned, the tax would end December 1st. And remember these guys? The Ramones? They may be getting their own Legos set. 450-piece set, part of a new Lego Ideas project. It's kind of cool. The band members are in a backstreet setting. If it gets enough votes, they'll produce it. Also up for votes this morning, a Saturn V rocket, a Gilmore Girls set, the Beatles' Yellow Submarine. You can check out all the ideas at ideas.lego.com. Cubs host the Nationals. Yankees play the Indians as we track baseball this postseason. Blackhawks scored 3 unanswered goals and pulled past the Canadiens last night, 3-1. The news service of Napa Auto Parts. Driving in the rain can be difficult, almost as difficult as remembering that you need new wiper blades. Now that Trico Force wiper blades are $15 off prepare at Napa, driving will not be that difficult at all. That's right, $15 off. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. 5:35 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Progressive makes it easy to compare quotes and get a great rate with the new Home Quote Explorer, only at Progressive.com.
With the holidays approaching, now's the perfect time to purchase 2 gifts and only pay for 1. Or give a gift and keep 1 for yourself. Yes, folks, the MyPillow buy 1, get 1 free offer is back. I urge you to go online or call now and take advantage. By using the promo code Amy, you'll get the absolute best deal available. I personally love my MyPillows. I get a great night's sleep by moving the fill to give me the support I need, regardless of my sleep position. And I never wake up with a stiff neck or headache. They're made in America. You can wash and dry them. They're hypoallergenic, plus have a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. And it's great to know you're supporting a company that helped thousands of hurricane victims. So get your buy 1, get 1 free MyPillows as gifts or for yourself by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit MyPillow.com. That's 800-489-0201, promo code Amy.
5:36 and a check of the morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Let's get the very latest now with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. On the outbound Kennedy Expressway, traffic is at a standstill from Fullerton to Addison, where the expressway is almost entirely closed. All lanes are blocked with a crash between Addison and Pulaski. It's a jackknife semi. Traffic is now sliding by the left shoulder. It's 42 minutes downtown to O'Hare, inbound 21. Edens is wet, otherwise okay. The Eisenhower, 30 minutes, Thorndale to the post office. How about 32? Stop and go North Avenue to York Road with a crash in the right lane. Down Stevenson, delays are from the Des Plaines River Bridge, First Avenue, crash left shoulder, 42 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Bryan, 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 18 minutes, I-80 to the Merge Bishop, 428. Delays on the northbound Tri-Stater from 47th to Reagan Tollway. Right lane's blocked on the ramp 2 westbound 88. That's a crash. Northbound I-65 has delays from US 30 to 73rd Avenue. Crash right lane. Traffic service of Firestone Complete Auto Care. Firestone Complete Auto Care, they've been putting tires on cars since 1926. And they know when the road gets rough, you need a set of tires that get tough. $60 on a Firestone Visa prepaid card by mail. Purchase a set of 4 eligible Firestone tires. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Jim, thank you. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. A breezy day ahead, a lot more morning rain, a little spotty drizzle this afternoon, and we head toward a cloudy night overnight. 63 for a high, 54 for a low overnight, and 65 tomorrow. Currently 59 degrees. Your next news update is at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Did you see that Gloria Allred is representing one of the actresses against Harvey Weinstein?
Yeah, that was from the soundbite that Mike played during his newscast.
Yeah. Did you hear that?
Yeah, because her daughter, Lisa Bloom, was representing Harvey.
She was, and then she quit. Yeah, Gloria Allred. I don't make now Gloria Allred. I mean, this is the other piece of this. These slimy plaintiff's attorneys like Allred and Lisa Bloom. Lisa Bloom, before she resigned, when she was like in full damage control, there was internal discussions. Oh, and by the way, former Clinton advisor, friend of the show, Lanny Davis, was part of the damage control team too. They were talking about essentially working to undermine the credibility of those making allegations against Weinstein.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing. They were going to do, hit jobs, muddy them up.
Right.
So just wait, just withhold your judgment on Weinstein. This is what Lisa Bloom wrote in a memo.
Harvey Weinstein, through his spokesperson yesterday, said that he hopes to get back in the business.
Well,
I'm
sure.
sorry. He hopes to get back in the business after going to rehab and.
Well, why not? He's seen Woody Allen. He's seen Roman Polanski. Why not? It's Hollywood. By the way, we talked about Gwyneth Paltrow and facing an advance by Weinstein, and then Brad Pitt saying, leave her alone or I'm going to knock you out or whatever. Yeah. Are there any men in Hollywood? Oh, George Clooney came out, too, as how he's so horrified by it all. Are there any men in Hollywood? The men tolerated this, too.
The manliest of the men was Brad Pitt.
That's not manly. I'm threatening to knock you out. I'm threatening to punch you out or whatever.
Don't touch her again. He sent a message. Don't touch her again.
Big deal.
Well, it's better than other people sitting on their heels. What did Obama do?
They're all
threw his daughter into the lion's den.
Well, but the men in Hollywood who knew this was going on for decades is what I'm talking about.
Right.
And no one stood up to Harvey Weinstein, the human stain. Because they're not men. So all of the men, maybe with the exception of Clint Eastwood, that you see on screen when they play these macho roles, it's just that. They're just acting. David and Linwood, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning. You mentioned Polanski. I believe Mr. Weinstein's going to Europe for avoidance of extradition.
Yeah,
He's not
maybe.
going for anything.
It's difficult to know. It's a fair question to raise, David. Thanks for the call. It's difficult to know because you don't know what the statute of limitations are with respect to the specific alleged incidents. So I don't know if he still faces legal jeopardy or not. There's a suggestion in a New York Post piece that it's possible, but that's it. We just don't have enough facts to fill in the blanks of whether there's criminal legal exposure for Weinstein. Let's hope there is, but I just don't know.
Well, one of the women who was allegedly raped is Anthony Bourdain's new girlfriend. She's an Italian filmmaker who said she was raped by him in 1997. This is Harvey Weinstein in a French Riviera hotel room. He took their meeting, the dinner that they had, took it to the hotel room, and then attacked her and raped her.
And, with statutes of limitations, remember, these are state-by-state matters. They range from 3 to 30 years, depending on the particular facts of the case and the charges that are sought. So it's, these are real allegations that are being made, but I just don't know if the statute has run.
Anthony Bourdain came out and tweeted, "Can we use the word rapist now?" He's the host of CNN Parts Unknown. He demanded, why are we saying alleged rapist? He's a rapist. He raped my girlfriend.
Well, we're saying I understand his personal, but we're saying alleged because he hasn't been convicted of anything. That's what we do in this country. So I don't know how to break it to Anthony Bourdain. Here's another interesting one. This is Terry Crews. You remember Terry Crews?
Oh.
He's a former NFLer turned actor.
Yeah.
Played football for the Raiders. He's actually, if you watch the show Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
He's in that. He's good.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's really funny.
Was he touched by her?
Because this kind of thing happened to me.
Oh, no.
Well, my wife and I were at a Hollywood function last year, and a high-level Hollywood executive came over to me and groped my privates.
I don't know. Is this...
Wait for it.
Okay.
Jumping back, I said, "What are you doing?" My wife saw everything, and we looked at him like he was crazy. He just grinned like a jerk. I was going to kick his ass right there, but I thought twice about how the whole thing would appear. 240-pound black man stomps out Hollywood honcho would be the headline the next day. Yeah, and we would have cheered you. Only I wouldn't have been able to read it because I would have been in jail, so we left. Fair. That night, next day, I talked to everyone I knew that worked with him about what happened. He called me the next day with an apology, but he never really explained why he did it. I decided not to take it further because I didn't want to be ostracized. Par for the course when the predator has power and influence.
And that person was Harvey Weinstein.
No. No. I don't think Harvey Weinstein was interested in Terry Crews. I think he was interested in, as is evidenced, young starlets, right? Yeah. But it's just interesting. There was a male, apparently a gay Hollywood executive who made an unwanted advance on Terry Crews. And this is just Hollywood, I guess, because, it's a Gore Vidal novel. It's a den of iniquity. And the interesting thing about this, too, just going back to the men who stayed silent even when their significant others were pursued or worse by Weinstein, it's very cliquish, too. Yep. You see this in politics as well. Nobody wants to, few want to step out because they don't want to be ostracized. They don't want to have their career negatively impacted. There is a differential in power often in these cases. So that's a real thing. But I guess that's what separates, adults from children. Everybody teaches their kids to do the right thing, and we know right from wrong. But then you see so much cowardice, don't you, in these cases? I mean, isn't that what punctuates these cases? Some, it's people who've truly been victimized and are afraid, and that's a different thing. But others who have material knowledge that are just cowards because they don't want to expose themselves to any consequences for doing the right thing. And sometimes doing the right thing involves taking consequences.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Oh, I'm reading to Dan. Today, we're going to have rain this morning, followed by some spotty drizzle by this afternoon. Hopefully, we'll be able to get in the Game 4 of the Division Series, which we will. Eventually, it will happen. That game will be played. And tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 54. And for tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a high of 65 degrees. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Very busy man. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Hey, Amy and Dan, it's a messy morning. Outbound Kennedy, traffic's jammed solid. Damon to Addison, where all lanes are blocked with a truck crash. From Addison to Pulaski, traffic only gets by slowly on the left shoulder. 45 minutes downtown to O'Hare, and that number is rising quickly. Inbound 22 minutes, heavy approaching Canfield, and also a little bit around Addison. Edens is okay. The Eisenhower, 35 minutes. Thorndale to downtown. Outbound 43. Heavy North Avenue to York Road with a crash in the right lane. Stevenson, after a crash at First Avenue, 48 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 23 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 18 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 35. Big jam, 159th to Sibley with a crash in the right lane. Northbound Tri-State bottled up. Hinsdale Oasis to the Reagan Tollway. Crash in the right lane of the ramp. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
All right, I have to admit it was an eyesore. The chipping and paint peeling on our front and back porch, it looked awful. But thanks to CertaPro painters, the porch looks brand new. The painters who showed up were professional, respectful. They were done in just a few hours, and when they left, the house looked brand new. They really are the best in the business, and it's not too late to book your exterior painting project. There are several spots open on CertaPro's schedule. Here's an idea. Let CertaPro painters transform your home while you're on vacation and return to a freshly painted house. They're celebrating their 25th anniversary this year, and so we invite you to experience the CertaPro difference. For a free estimate, call 1-800-GO-CERTA, CERTA, or visit CertaPro.com. That's Certa with the C. Get that painting project off your to-do list. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro painters, we do painting, you do life.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Policy Institute, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
When you have sleep apnea, traveling can be a real drag because you have to drag your big, bulky home CPAP device with you everywhere you go. But not anymore. Now you can travel easily and sleep comfortably anywhere thanks to Transcend, the world's very first mini CPAP. And right now, you can try Transcend absolutely risk-free for 10 restful nights. So call now, 1-800-600-6779. Our smallest and most advanced portable design ever, Transcend is as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. You can even add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. Transcend is so incredibly small and light, you can easily fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. Now you can enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. But don't delay. To receive your 10-night in-home trial, call minicpap.com now. 1-800-600-6779. Again, that's 1-800-600-6779.
Risk mitigation is an important consideration that smart companies pay attention to in today's complicated business climate. Some of the greatest risks occur when your company hires new employees or when you execute new business financial relationships. When your company hires, leases, or conducts financial transactions, decisions are critical. That's why veteran-owned and operated Global Verification Network is a company you should know. Startups to Fortune 100s trust Global Verification Network, and so should you. They're a background screening and investigative services company dedicated to expert, timely, and affordable background screening services for employment, tenant screening, and business due diligence. Global Verification Network is headquartered in Chicagoland, a federally recognized veteran-owned small business, and never offshores data like many competitors. To request your company's risk analysis without obligation or cost, visit globalverificationnetwork.com or call 877-695-1179 or visit them online at globalverificationnetwork.com. Global Verification Network, the risk mitigation experts, 877-695-1179.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, let's take another call on Weinstein. Tony in Downers Grove.
Hey, Dan, I'm just wondering when something like this happened, you know, you had the whole, the last few years, several years on the college campuses and kind of promoting like it's almost a rape culture. How does this affect the dialogue? Because it is about power, and that's kind of what we've seen there, and yet we know what happened or what was happening under the Obama administration with the rules they were imposing.
Yeah, that's right. It's a good question, right? Because thanks for the call, Tony, because it cuts a lot of different ways. This is why we here use the term alleged, because there was an alleged rapist at the University of Virginia who was falsely accused. There was an alleged rapist at Columbia University who was falsely accused. The rush to characterize every man as a rapist in waiting on college campuses is just as vicious and improper as dismissing an allegation that's as serious as the allegations against Weinstein. This is why some restraint and the pursuit of truth turns out to be important across the board.
It's true.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Shopping for your next luxury vehicle? Looking to save time with an easy, honest experience? That's what you get at Continental Audi of Naperville. We have over 180 new Audi vehicles to choose from, and we are the only Audi dealer with a test track. For a limited time, lease the award-winning 2017 Audi A4 Premium for $439 a month, or lease a 2018 Audi A6 for $569 a month. Drive an Audi and feel the difference. Drive an Audi from Continental and experience the difference an exceptional dealer can make. Visit us at ContinentalAudi.com or Continental Audi in Naperville at Aurora and Ogden Avenues. Experience the Continental Audi difference, where smiles are standard equipment. ContinentalAudi.com. 36-month leases, A43554 and A64684 due at signing, plus tax, title, license, and acquisition fee extra. Must qualify through Audi Financial Services. See dealer for full details.
Depression. You need to make it go away. Cure or remission is here. The revolutionary treatment of TMS.
800-604-0208.
TMS therapy is drug-free and non-invasive. Here's how it works. There are areas of the brain that control mood. If you suffer from depression, research has found these areas to be underactive. TMS therapy uses safe, small magnetic fields, similar to those used in an MRI. They stimulate and activate these mood centers, causing long-term, medication-free relief. HBR centers in Chicagoland and Wisconsin offer TMS. End the frustration with life and relationships.
It's FDA cleared and it is covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and Medicare.
Dangerous drugs and other treatments just mask the depression. Cure or remission. Get a free consultation.
800-604-0208.
HPR centers. Go to endmydepression.com.
If you did not purchase health insurance coverage during the 2017 open enrollment, I can help you purchase a PPO health insurance plan at any time during the year. This is Tom Marabali, your health insurance advocate and independent producer for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois and other health insurance carriers. If you are between the ages of 19 and 64, you are automatically paying for maternity coverage whether you want the coverage or not. If you are a non-smoking 50-year-old male or female living in the city of Chicago, the monthly premium rate for a 100% tax-deductible health savings account PPO plan would be $590 per month. But I can show you how to eliminate the mandatory maternity benefit and lower your monthly premiums down to approximately $240 per month. To see if you qualify or for more information, call me, Tom Marabali, at 630-863-3477. That's 630-863-3477.
5:57. Let's get an update on your morning commute in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. The very latest with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The outbound Kennedy's jammed. Solid Armitage to Addison, where a crash now has 3 right lanes blocked. Left lane and shoulder are open. 51 minutes downtown to O'Hare, inbound 29. Edens is wet, otherwise okay. The Eisenhower. Heavy inbound starting at Wolf Road, 43 minutes Thorndale to downtown, outbound 47. Main jam is St. Charles to York, crash in the right lane. Mount Stevenson, 48 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 35. Ryan, 24 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 25 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishopwood, 35. Rollover crash at Sibley in the right lane. Westbound Tri-State bottled up from Archer to the Reagan Tollway exit ramp. Right lane is blocked after earlier crash. But Adams Tollway heavy from the Tri-State to Kennedy. Traffic service of Staples. Staples knows that the only printer in your office that's not out of ink is 3 flights up. It's time. Staples has great prices on everything you need to print. Like buy one HP ink, you get the second at 30% off. Ends 10/14. Restrictions apply. See store or staples.com for details. Staples, it's pro time. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
A breezy day with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies throughout the day and night. We'll have a little rain for the morning, followed by spotty afternoon drizzle. High today 63 and a low 54. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
60 and rain at O'Hare, 59 along the lakefront. The news service of Napa Auto Parts. Driving in the rain can be difficult, almost as difficult as remembering that you need new wiper blades. Now that Trico Force wiper blades are $15 off, prepare at Napa. Driving isn't difficult at all. That's right, $15 off. Quality parts, helpful people, that's Napa know-how. 5:59 on AM 560, and here are the stories we're following at this hour. Last night's Game 4 of the NLDS, Cubs and Nationals rained out. Game will be played later today. Cook County commissioners are one step closer to repealing that controversial soda tax. Chicago Public Schools will raise property taxes to the cap next year, costing you an additional $177. Police investigating a robbery in a parking garage on Northwestern's Chicago campus. Cubs host the Nationals. Yankees play the Indians in baseball. Blackhawks look good in Canada, beating the Canadiens 3-1 at the Bell Center. Well, the Bulls upended the Cavaliers 108-94. More Dan and Amy after Fox. WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
A lot of families have nothing left. Wildfires burned everything. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We're humbled by this incident, and our hearts go out to everyone in this room that has suffered loss.
CAL FIRE Incident Commander Brett Gouveia at a town hall. 2,000 homes and businesses have burned down. At least 17 people have died, including a 100-year-old man and a 98-year-old wife found in a charred home. And the fires are still burning out of control in California's wine country. Fox's Adam Housley's there.
We are expecting wind to come back again today. So as soon as where I'm located, which is basically just one ridge over from Napa County, Napa Valley, some of the flames right now are starting to flare up in this area. This fire, which is burning right now, basically jumped 3/4 of a mile last night,
putting hundreds more homes at risk. MGM pushing back on a revised timeline in last week's Las Vegas massacre. Police initially said a Mandalay Bay security guard interrupted Stephen Paddock's shooting spree. Now they say he shot the guard before shooting into the concert crowd, and MGM says that may not be accurate. President Trump's expected this week to announce he'll not certify Iran's in compliance with the 2015 nuclear deal he's called an embarrassment for the U.S., but our allies don't want that. Fox's Simon Owen live in London.
Dave, Britain says Iran has stuck to the terms of the accord, and British Prime Minister Theresa May has called the Iran agreement vitally important for regional security. May's office saying she spoke with President Trump on the phone late Tuesday amid reports that he's planning to decertify the deal. The UK's top diplomat told Secretary of State Rex Tillerson the agreement has undoubtedly made the world a safer place. The other signatories, France, Germany, Russia and China, also stating their continued support. Dave?
Simon, today the president will go to Pennsylvania to push his tax reform plan. He tweeted a short time ago, if it passes Congress, the stock market's numbers will grow in leaps and bounds, up 25% already since the election. He writes, the day after the Dow hit a 47th record high this year. Fox News, fair and balanced.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs powered by Tandem HR. Heard Sunday evenings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. To the question of who reports on the reporters, the answer least part of it, James O'Keefe in Project Veritas. And he posted a new undercover report yesterday focusing the feature of this undercover investigation, Nick Dudek, who is the audience strategy editor for the New York Times. He describes himself as the gatekeeper for all of the New York Times videos.
Okay.
All right. Well, I mean,
Did you get a degree for that?
I believe
be
so.
the gatekeeper.
I don't know if he had to get one. I think he, did get one. Here's Nick Dudek on himself.
So as the gatekeeper for like videos on the New York Times, do you get to like make sure that you like can make sure your message is heard?
Yeah.
Cool.
Like my voice is on my imprint's on every video we do.
Cool.
So I like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's his perspective? Well, he was a staffer for both the Obama and Hillary Clinton presidential campaigns. Kind of a volunteer video editor, strategist for Hillary Clinton. And his imprint on these videos, what's his focus, you may ask? And he may answer.
I target his businesses, his dumb of his son, Donald Jr. and Eric. So they're running Trump, like the Trump business. Target that. Get people to boycott going to these hotels. Boycott. So a lot of the Trump brands, if you can ruin the Trump brand, and you put pressure on his business, and you start investigating his business, and you start shutting it down, whether hacking or other things, he cares about his business more than he cares about being president.
Right.
He would resign. Or he'd lash out and do something incredibly illegal, which he would have to.
So that's his focus, is destroying Trump's brand so that the president either resigns, because that's what he thinks is going to happen, or
Loses
lashes out and does something wildly illegal.
Well, that is just very telling.
Standard,
right there.
standard issue newsroom stuff.
I never heard that in newsrooms when I worked in several newsrooms. That's a little aggressive.
You think so?
Yeah.
Now, do you think that?
Wow.
Do you think that? I mean, do you
trying to
think,
bring down his businesses? That's what he's trying to do.
does that lack objectivity? I mean, I'm not a professional journalist, so I don't know where the line is.
He's kind of one-sided there. I mean, he's really there's not a lot of room for growth with this person to try and see the other side, or as you're told to do, get both sides of the story.
Is that the even-handedness that we should expect from the Gray Lady, the newspaper of record?
Oh my gosh! Wow.
And then it gets bizarre. So that can kind of, from O'Keefe's other undercover videos, like CNN, like some of the flunkies, the producers at CNN, producer for Chris Cuomo's Unwatchable Morning Show and so forth. Yeah, they openly hostile to Trump. I mean, they're in the tank to do whatever the left wants them to do and what they can facilitate on their own to take down Trump and to otherwise attack Republicans, which is that's baseline. You know, Trump has increased the intensity, I think, but they start from the foundation of let's attack Republicans. Every Republican getting elected is the end of days, according to these people. Remember, between 80 and 90% of D.C. press corps members have voted for the Democrat nominee for president for 50 years. Okay? So this is not close. This is not a close call. This is not in controversy. And one of the reasons this doesn't move over into the D.C. press corps outlets to report on what James O'Keefe finds is, one, I mean, they want to continue to hoodwink the American public as much as they can and feign objectivity and feign fairness and feign journalism as opposed to pushing narratives, which is what they really do, push narratives. That's one thing. And two, it's unremarkable to them because, of course, they're all in on it. They know this. This story, this Nick Dudek thing will be like, yeah, well, that's what we're doing too. So what's the big deal? That's not news. But then Nick Dudek talks about a particular relationship that he has that would potentially be a bit of a conflict of interest.
The one thing that Jim Comey said, and I've met him, he's a great guy, actually.
How'd you meet Comey? Just like working in the campaign?
No. Godfather. No one at the time says I'm going to do that. Well, the Comey hearing, I should have recused myself. I should have, but I'm not ever telling anybody there.
Yeah.
That I have tie with that, or else I don't know if they can keep me on.
Did he say he's his godfather?
That's what he said. He said Jim Comey, the fired FBI director, is my godfather. And he didn't disclose it to anybody at the New York Times because it's an obvious conflict of interest, and he doesn't know if they could keep him on if they knew.
Do you think that they know now?
Well, there's a question as to what they know and what is true. Because the Comey thing was so jarring that there's that relationship. It's so interesting, right? You would naturally pursue it. So that's what James O'Keefe's undercover reporters did.
They get his baptismal records?
No.
Because it says on there who your godmom and goddad is.
They just went right to the source.
Oh, okay.
New York Times audience strategy editor Nick Dudek's dad, who had this to say when asked about it.
James Comey's godson. Is that?
Not to the best of my knowledge.
Okay.
Ooh.
It's just weird because he said that, that you guys were like friends with that family, the Comeys. Yeah.
He's embellishing. I don't know why he would say that.
It just left me uneasy, so I just wanted to,
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, he's not James Comey's godson. I don't even know James Comey.
Oh, that's going to make it a little hard in the holidays, when you go around the table and say what you're thankful for at Thanksgiving. And I have a son who embellishes.
Well,
I mean, it's a little...
It's going to make it really awkward when Nick Dudek shows up at James Comey's house for Thanksgiving. That's really going to be uncomfortable. I'm sorry, who are you?
Don't you know? I'm your godson.
Wow. This is actually an example of good journalism.
He's a pathological liar.
They went to the source to verify the claim. The claim is refuted. And then they go back to the source to ask.
Oh, no, this is embarrassing.
To ask him why he is lying about James Comey being his godfather.
Why would you lie about Comey?
Not sure.
Okay, well, is Comey your godfather?
Comey?
Is James Comey your... He's not?
No.
Well, then why did you say that?
It's a good story.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story. Wow.
The Creative Writing Award for this year's New York Times staff goes to, this is the gold standard of journalism in the Western world, the New York Times.
Please tell me he's been terminated.
I don't know what's happened to him, but it would be interesting to now follow up with the New York Times brass, because New York Times is a big operation. I'm not pretending that he's some kind of senior level decision maker. He's a guy who posts videos, but I mean, he has editing power.
He's got power
authority
to persuade people.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
He's posting videos. He's obviously getting whatever he posts past senior people. So it's an issue. He has some responsibility. He is a content provider as part of the larger content provision of the New York Times. So
and the kids watch videos; they don't read. So he's got a lot more power.
Well,
I think, than...
fair point. Yeah. And so, what about that New York Times editor-in-chief, publisher? What should we make of this? I would like O'Keefe to continue his journalism, and this was part one, so I suspect he did, to try and get an answer about Nick Dudek and what is his status, what should be his status. These are statements that run contrary to the stated handbook of essentially professional ethics, which O'Keefe details in his video. So what's to be done about this, and what does it say about the New York Times? It's a good story.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up, Coach Ditka. Coach. And new rules for the NFL. Is Trump victorious this morning? But first, here's your forecast. Breezy, a little morning rain followed by some spotty drizzle this afternoon, a high of 63 degrees. And then tonight, cloudy, and tomorrow, mostly cloudy. No rain, and a high in the mid-60s. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte, very busy man this morning.
Thanks, Amy. Yes, that's right. A lot of jackknife semis during the early morning hours. There's one on the outbound Kennedy, and it is at Addison. 3 right lanes are blocked. For a while, everything was blocked. It's a big jam starting around Division. It's 58 minutes downtown to O'Hare. Inbound 33 minutes. Got a crash at Belmont on the left side. Eden's still okay. The Eisenhower. 54 minutes. Thorndale to the post office. Outbound 59. Mass first from Costner to Des Plaines Avenue. Then St. Charles to York. Crash to the right lane. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 3:55 to the drive, outbound 39. Ryan, 26 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 29 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop 4:35. Northbound Tri-State heavy from Archer up to the Reagan Tollway with right lanes blocked. Crash on the ramp. Eastbound Adams Tollway jammed. Tri-State to the Kennedy. Jim Telemonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Acme Home Insurance.
Yes, I'd like to make a claim.
What are you wanting to claim, sir?
My air conditioner broke down.
Sorry, but your home insurance doesn't cover air conditioner breakdowns.
So what do you cover?
Home damage from things like earthquakes, volcanoes, a zombie apocalypse.
A zombie apocalypse? But that'll never happen.
But if it did, you'd be covered, sir.
But not my air conditioner?
I'm afraid not.
But his air conditioner could have been covered with a home warranty from American Home Shield. We cover major components of air conditioners, plus 20 other home systems and appliances, like electrical systems, plumbing, refrigerators, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-400-7011. Homeowners insurance can cover what might happen.
Zombies are coming!
But a home warranty helps cover what will happen.
Now the dryer won't work.
Be sure with the Shield. American Home Shield. For valuable free information, call 1-800-400-7011. That's 1-800-400-7011. 1-800-400-7011.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
They really have made a difference. I mean, when I started taking them, I could not tie my shoes because of the knee pain. I have arthritis and I actually bent down and tied my shoes by mistake. I was so used to not being able to do it. I couldn't believe I did it. And that was shortly after starting the Balanced Nature.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND. That's balanceofnature.com. Promo code WIND.
Ever since I was little, I imagined owning a bakery. With hard work, I made it happen. But after this weekend's robbery, I realized that I need to protect my dream with security.
I've got a great answer for you. Alarm Detection Systems, your local family-owned business, understands the threats you might face. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300 and find out how we can protect you. License number 127000143.
I manage a construction site, and the other morning we had to send half of the crew home because of missing equipment. This nonsense is cutting into my time and budget.
Here's what you need to know. Alarm Detection Systems offers mobile security solutions that expand with your project. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300 to find out about our alarm and video protection. License number 127000143.
AM 560, The Answer.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy. Amy, I still, again, just noting for the record, still have the better part of 3 days to finish the marathon.
You're looking good. You're looking limber. What mile marker are you on right now?
I'm almost halfway on mile marker 12.
Oh, that's a big accomplishment.
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, it's about finishing. That's what I always say.
Yeah, you start the race, you got to finish it.
Yeah. So, let you know how it goes.
Yeah, because there's this Chicago couple that ran the marathon. Real quick, just because we were talking about the marathon, her name is Alyssa, and she has this. She had a cancer in her heart, believe it or not, and she needed a heart transplant. So this man Fred Miller's daughter. She passed away and gave her his daughter's heart. And they ran the marathon together.
That's cool.
Isn't that cool? This is them.
Alyssa, otherwise known to us as Lissy, was delightful, spunky, super bright.
So they met because she wrote him a letter thanking them. Your daughter's heart gave me a second chance on life.
Right.
And I've always wanted to run the marathon. So we said, well, why don't we start training? So they started training together and then actually ran and finished the marathon together.
Alyssa gave me a new life. She's my miracle.
She wanted to help somebody else to have the life that unfortunately she could not have.
Congratulations.
You're a tough lady.
I can't believe I did it.
Isn't that great?
That's how I'm going to feel on Friday.
I can't believe I did
finish. I could maybe use a heart transplant. I mean, to have one.
To make you more compassionate.
I probably improve my time. By the way, I think marathon running has now moved ahead of the NFL as America in terms of the rank order of America's favorite sports. The NFL now the most unpopular college or professional sport in America.
Really?
A favorability rating at 44% compared to, say, Major League Baseball at 63%. Wonder why that is. Mike Ditka.
Coach!
He may have an answer.
Sausage.
I don't know why he doesn't say things like this when we have him on a show. I think he's intimidated by you.
Well, I told him because I have to pre-interview him and set up the interview before he comes on the show. And I said to him, I said, well, Colin Kaepernick, if he doesn't like it here, he could always go to Europe. He doesn't have to stay in this country. And I think that he took the suggestion that I made and took it to the next level.
He used it with Jim Gray rather than using it here and making news here. And when he was with us, he was like, hey, I'm just one guy with an opinion. Nobody cares what kind of my opinion is. Well, yeah, we care. That's why we have you on the show.
He was dancing around the subject a little.
Yeah. Well, Monday Night Football pregame show on Westwood One with Jim Gray, Ditka's on.
Coach.
And Jim Gray asks him if he gambled on baseball. Oh, no, that was the Pete Rose interview.
I worked that day at Channel 5, and every phone line was jammed. People were horrified that he asked them that.
Yeah, and press the issue. Here's what Coach Ditka had to say to Jim Gray that he didn't say on our show last week, which he should have.
I think that you have to be colorblind in this country. You got to look at a person for what he is and what he stands for and how he produces. All of a sudden, it's become a big deal now about oppression. There has been no oppression in the last 100 years that I know of. I don't care who you are, how much money you make. If you don't respect our country, then you shouldn't be in this country playing football. Go to another country and play football. If you can't respect the flag and the country, then you don't respect what this is all about. So I would say, adios.
There you go.
Wow.
You agree with the coach? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Now, I know some people are focusing on there hasn't been oppression in the last 100 years. Obviously, that's false. But you have to remember, Ditka's 200 years old. So his perspective,
And he's in great shape for being 200. And I do think he Botoxes too.
So
because it's a good look.
Well, but I mean, I think you have to understand, I'm sure he would concede the point that Jim Crow, which has happened in the last 100 years, obviously, was racial oppression, because it was. So, he's 100 years. He's being imprecise, but I don't think he's trying to wipe away the history of America up to the civil rights movement in the 60s, and frankly, to some extent, even since. So I just wanted to kind of address that, because I know the left wants to seize on that, and people who disagree with Ditka's opinion about the anthem and respecting the flag and respecting this country, and saying if you don't like it, go play football in Europe. They want to seize on the 100 years comment, and I think that's being a little unfair. Right. He wasn't being precise.
Well, I think President Trump won this fight. I mean, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell yesterday wrote a letter to all 32 league owners regarding the protests, and he's said that current dispute over the national anthem is threatening to erode the unifying power of our game and is now dividing us and our players from many fans across the country.
Yeah, like many of our fans, we believe everyone should stand for the national anthem.
Oh.
Goodell in a full reversal, sweep around the corner. Here's the thing.
Full reversal.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
The bad news about most big business C-suite execs is that they're cowards. And the good news is that they're cowards. In other words, they can be pressured to go in a particular direction, because all they really are motivated by is, their perch, their compensation package,
Yeah.
and their share price. I mean, that share price is not the case here, but you get the point. And so that's what has moved Goodell. Those favorability numbers I just mentioned, the drop in viewership on television, the drop in merchandise purchases, the reaction to your places like the Lockport VFW, which will not show NFL games. So that is being received by the NFL, and that's why you see the reverse by Goodell and to some extent Jones and others.
Yeah, and Jerry Jones yesterday.
My actions are going to be that if you do not honor and stand for the flag, then you won't play.
He was on a sports station in Dallas, and Sarah Huckabee Sanders, she's.
What team does she own?
She's on the Bears.
I think we would certainly support the NFL coming out and asking players to stand, just as the president has done.
She's a nose guard.
The Bears could use the help. I
don't know why.
Chicago and Northwestern grad Michael Wilbon.
Oh, I had to have a dinner with him once and his wife.
Had to have a dinner.
I had to.
Didn't want to have a dinner.
No, I was at Patrick. What's his name? Dan Patrick's roast.
Oh.
And I sat next to him and his wife, and they did not get along. They were fighting in public. Like, you know what? Take that outside. Nobody wants to see you argue.
Oh, boy.
So that was my advice to him, my worldly marriage advice for him.
Well, Michael Wilbon is one of these shows that I completely don't understand. Does anybody still watch ESPN? Like, watching ESPN for sports is like watching MTV for music videos. It's not on there anymore.
No. And then they have all those bobblehead dolls, and there's so many graphics flying around. Who's he with? Who's that guy
He's with this just intolerable D-bag, Tony Kornheiser.
Yes.
He's the worst. So Craig Wilbon, I'm inclined to give him the benefit of the doubt, not because he's a fellow Northwestern grad, but because he's a member at Olympia Fields like I am.
Oh, see?
Yeah. So I want to be
Wait,
collegial with the membership.
Or you can...
He's got a place in Chicago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is he still married?
I don't know. I haven't inquired about his wife.
Will you ask about that?
I'll ask him how
at
that
the
fight
clubhouse?
ended. Yeah.
No, just say at the clubhouse, hey, are they still together? I mean, I'm really pulling for them.
No, I'm going to ask him specifically about the spat that Amy Jacobson witnessed and how that turned out.
Don't fight in public. Nobody wants to see that.
Wilbon responded to them discussing the issue of Jerry Jones. Wilbon said this about Jerry Jones and his, you either stand for the anthem or you get benched.
Mm-hmm.
And the word that comes to mind, and I don't care who doesn't like me using it, is plantation. The players are here to serve me, and they will do what I want. No matter how much I pay them, they are not equal to me. That's what this says to me and mine, said Wilbon. Is that right? Is Jerry Jones a modern-day slave owner? Is that right? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line.
No, he's the boss. And if the boss tells you to do something, you do it.
I wonder,
it's real simple.
I wonder how, using an example that Wilbon and I, share, I wonder how Wilbon would react to a caddy at Olympia Fields who, knelt down in his line while he's putting out of protest. Hey, I'm freely expressing myself, Mike.
Yeah. Express yourself over there.
Who's
in the rough, not on my. Don't get in the line of my.
Is the power relationship the same between the golfer, the member, and the caddy, Michael Wilbon, or is one an employee and an employee of the club? Is the caddy in a different power relationship than the caddy master, than the head pro, than the board of the club? Or can the caddies and the subordinates to the board and to the golf pro and so forth, head pro, do what they want? Say what they want, how they want it, when they want it. Is that a plantation too that you're a member of, Michael? Is Olympia Fields a plantation? Come on. Mike in Crystal Lake, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning. I think Mike just retracted that 100-year oppression thing within the last couple hours or something like that.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks, Mike.
Coach.
No problem.
Wabish.
Lewis in Dayton, Texas.
Good morning, guys. How are you doing this morning?
Good.
The comment that I had was about the flag. First of all, what these NFL players need to understand is, while they feel like they're not disrespecting nobody, they need to understand the flag has a lot of different meanings to a lot of different people. to a military man, it means pride. Even to a military man who's been to war, it means something else to them. It means something else to a regular person. It may be pride, but also to certain individuals, like people in 9/11. That flag has a different meaning to them than what it does to everyone else. So when these players sit there and say, we're not disrespecting, America or anybody else, they need to realize that while they may not think they're doing it, this flag has a different meaning to different people, different religions, different nationalities, and they have to respect that the same way they are supposedly looking for respect.
Well, yeah. Thanks for the callers. They can, and if they don't, well, then there's consequences that may attach, and maybe not. If employers don't care, okay, but fans may react too. There are consequences that may attach, so understand that. Philip in Blue Island.
The thing that Dicker did say after the 100 years was that he has seen, and it's really kind of out of sight, out of mind. If Dicker is not around poor people, if he's not around poverty, or if he is not informed about redlining, so if it's out of his mind, if it's out of his sphere of his activities daily, how is he going to know? So that's why he's just so ignorant with his statement, and he's devoid of really good information to even make a statement on football or. And the thing about the draft, if you don't know anything about a slave auction or Wilbon's talking about the plantation, have you ever seen the NFL draft or the combines, and you know anything about slave auction?
That's a slave auction. Is that what that is?
Yeah,
Fantasy football drafts are slave auctions.
No, I'm talking the same thing. If you want to make light of it,
I do want to make light of it because it's absurd.
It's the same thing.
That's what
absurd.
Good comeback. The NFL Combine is a slave auction. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying, if you look at them, if you can.
Are you saying that or not?
There's different times. If you let me answer, I'm saying what I'm saying, not what you're saying.
Well, answer my question. Answer my question. Yes or no?
What is that? What I just said? Yes, it's basically the same thing.
Thank you for answering the question. You just said it. Thank you, Philip, for answering the question. You think the NFL Combine's a slave auction, and you're not a serious person. Thank you. We got that resolved nicely. Appreciate it.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer,
we'll talk to Theodore Dalrymple, of course, City Journal writer and a retired psychiatrist who's written a piece about the Vegas shooter and trying to answer the unanswerable. That's at 6:36.
But first, let's go into the newsroom and say good morning to Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, 59 degrees. Rain showers continue. Winds are easterly at 17. A pair of U.S. bombers has flown over the Korean peninsula. They were B-1 Lancer bombers, B-1B Lancer bombers. They carried out a series of air-to-ground missile drills over coastal waters. The death toll from California's wildfires up to 17 this morning. Over a dozen deaths confirmed in wine country in Napa and Sonoma counties.
When you get the right conditions with the fuels and that wind coming up, it was a disaster waiting to happen, and it happened.
CAL FIRE Chief Tony Brownell noted the region got plenty of winter rain. That meant there was plenty of grass around to fuel the wildfires. Meantime, wildfires raging in California are likely to devastate the wine industry. Several wineries have been destroyed. Recovery could take years, according to the Industry Trade Association, Napa Valley Vintners. President Trump heads to Pennsylvania today. He'll talk up his tax plan.
People want to see tax cuts, they want to see major reductions in their taxes, and they want to see tax reform, and that's what we're doing. I will tell you that it's become very, very popular.
Protesters are planning to meet the president at the entrance to the Harrisburg Air National Guard base when he arrives. Last night's Game 4 of the NLDS, Cubs and Nationals rained out. The game will be played later today with the Cubs ahead of that best-of-5 series, 2-1. Cook County commissioners are a step closer to repealing the controversial soda tax after a finance committee vote of 15-1 yesterday. Mayor Emanuel cutting ties with disgraced Hollywood mogul Harvey Weinstein, donating $11,000 in campaign contributions to a mentoring group for at-risk young girls. And this morning we've heard of Every tax you can think of in the state of Illinois, and now there is a Portillo's tax, or there might be if city leaders in Peoria get their way. They're still split on whether they need to create a new sales tax district to help build a Chicago-style hot dog restaurant, a Portillo's restaurant in that city. City council members last night debated but did not vote on the proposed Portillo's tax. Many leaders in Peoria say the city cannot afford to pay any more to create a special sales tax for a hot dog stand. Cubs and Nationals in baseball this afternoon. Yankees and Indians, decisive Game 5 coming up. Blackhawks beat the Canadiens 3-1, and the Bulls upend the Cavaliers in the NBA preseason 108-94. The news service of Napa Auto Parts. Driving in the rain can be difficult, almost as difficult as remembering that you need new wiper blades. And now that Trico Force wiper blades are $15 off per pair at Napa, driving isn't difficult at all. That's right, $15 off. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. 6:35 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois.
The same banking team you already know and trust at the private bank has come together with one of the strongest banks in North America. And we have a new name. The private bank is now CIBC. We share the same focus on building strong client relationships, and we're now backed by a bank with over 150 years of experience in putting clients first. Our name may have changed, but our commitment to helping your business grow is now stronger than ever. Visit us at CIBC.com/US. Member FDIC.
Life should be an adventure, and so should your health. It's another can't-miss Health Quest radio show this Saturday morning.
Dr. David Kolbaba. You're eating too much food. You get it? We're eating too much food, and whether eating too much food causes kidney stones or diabetes or obesity, it don't matter. We're eating about 75% too much food because you're not moving your body. If you moved your body more, you could eat more, but you're not, so don't.
Create your adventure in health. Tune into Health Quest Radio every Saturday morning at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Folks, when shopping for a home mortgage, how much is great service, low closing costs, and competitive interest rates worth to you? At Townstone Financial, it's priceless. Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of Townstone Financial. Let's hear about the Townstone experience from a VA client.
I do have a very close personal friend. Him and his wife were both Army. They did a couple tours. They were denied their VA loan at the 11th hour. They got the carpet pulled from underneath them. So, you hear horror stories like that. With you guys going through the VA process, you guys really did most of the legwork. I mean, just a matter of getting my paperwork in order and making sure you guys had the right documents so that you could push it through, make it happen, and get us the keys to our new home.
Remember, nobody values your home mortgage business more than Townstone. I guarantee it, and I own the company. So call me now, Barry Sterner, at 312-896-2110. That's 312-896-2110. Or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financials, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, Illinois Mortgage Licensee 6629 and NMLS 136639. Equal Housing Lender.
It is 6:37. Let's get an update on the morning commute. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with the very latest this morning, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The outbound Kennedy is jammed Ohio to Addison, where a crash blocks two right lanes. There are injuries involved. It is an hour and 7 minutes downtown to O'Hare, inbound 42 minutes. Eden's now heavy at 33 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 21. The Eisenhower, 57 minutes. Thorndale to the post office, outbound an hour and 2 minutes. A crash at York Road cleared. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 39. Ryan, 26 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 36 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishopport, 33. Northbound Tri-State. Jammed from Cicero up to the Reagan Tollway exit, where the right lane just reopened. Those delays continue then up to North Avenue. Veterans Memorial slow I-55 to the Reagan Tollway and Roosevelt to St. Charles. Traffic. Service of Staples. Staples knows that when the only printer in your office that's not out of ink is 3 flights up, it's time. Staples has great prices on everything you need to print, like buy one HP ink and get the second at 30% off. Ends 10/14. Restrictions apply. See store staples.com for details. Staples, it's pro time. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast of a breezy morning Little morning rains, followed by spotty drizzle this afternoon. We'll top out at 63. Clouds most of the evening, low 54, and a cloudy day ahead tomorrow and a high of 65. Currently, we have 57 degrees. Most rain showers have stopped, but we'll keep an eye on that. Next news coming up at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Financial Planning with Jack Taboda, your 401k rollover specialist. Heard Saturday mornings at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
The hypocrites scatter when I shine the bright light of reason. I'm Larry Elder. Join me tonight at 7 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
You need a new pen over there? I've got more pens.
No, I'm going to make this one work.
Keep digging, Dan.
So here's some good news. As anticipated, per our conversation with Cook County Commissioner Richard Boykin on this show on Monday, yesterday the Cook County Finance Committee moved to repeal the sugary beverage tax imposed by Queen Sugar. Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle.
I like it because of Queen Sugar.
Okay.
Okay.
15-1 vote. The only Cook County Commissioner who voted to keep the sugary beverage tax, you may want to take judicial notice of this there in the near north suburbs.
Yes.
Larry Suffrenden.
Oh, Larry. He's on the board at the Swedish American Museum.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, the Three Crowns retirement home in Evanston. Really?
Yeah.
Why now? What was his reasoning?
He likes other people's money. And he likes to spend
Why
it.
can't they just cut spending?
And he likes Bloomberg's money, and who knows what lobbying interests he has. You know, he's a lobbyist. We have all these lobbyists in state and county and local government that lobby other units of government and pretend it's not an inherent conflict of interest. Suffrenden's one of them.
I did not know that.
Yeah. 15-1. It goes before the board today for a final vote. And as Boykin predicted on our show, it looks like they're going to have a veto-proof majority to repeal. And the other thing that Boykin said on Monday, it's just incredible.
What?
It shows the laws of economics actually do apply in Cook County. Seriously, they do. The anticipated revenue from the sugary beverage tax for August, according to the government green eye shades guys over at county, $18 million. The actual take for Cook County in August, $300,000. $18 million projected, $300,000 received. Do you start to understand why we have the problems in city and county and state that we have here in the worst governed big city in America, in the worst governed state in U.S. history? You start to get it? But the question is, if it's repealed with all of these reversals by Democrats like Chuy Garcia and John Daley and the like, is everything right with the world again? Does the revolt stop?
I know this one was different. This one cut a nerve, cut into a nerve with a lot of Chicagoans, a lot of people who live in Cook County, because they kept saying, oh, it's about childhood obesity. And the Heart Association was there at yesterday's meeting trying to say we need to have this.
I don't see how repealing this tax creates a healthier community. I think you're going to see, I think this is a recipe for disaster.
Oh, we're going to have a health disaster because we parents can decide what our children drink if we want to have a sugary drink.
Well, this is
or a sports drink.
This is the sophistry of the big government types across the board, right? I mean, if cigarettes are so bad, why do you maintain their legalization? Because you want them as a revenue source. You're preying it's government aligned against the interests of its constituents. Well, that's the same thing here. And, and again, the health concern. Was the American Heart Association flack asked about why EBT holders, card holders, are exempt? So you don't care about poor people who are the beneficiaries of the electric benefit transfer card?
Right, because they didn't have to pay taxes on soda drinks or Gatorade. So
we don't care. So Little Lord Fauntleroy financing the ad campaign for Queen Sugar, talking about Bloomberg, of course, that you don't care about the health of poor people? So because if it's all about health, why do you exempt them? At least Philadelphia, when they did it, had the integrity to not make it about health, to just make it straight about revenue, which is what it was about. But it turns out in Philadelphia, like was the case in Cook County, there are substitutes. And there is this thing called elasticity of demand that every Econ 101 student learns, where people will use substitutes when you price something out of their range. I mean, or you make something prohibitive relative to substitutes that I have. What happened actually in Philadelphia is people stopped drinking pop and they started drinking more beer.
Well, I don't know about drinking the beer, but people sales are so down. This one vendor, Ken Bloom, took to the platform yesterday.
I'm about at 10% of my soda sales what it used to be, and it's really hurt. It's really hurt me deeply in the pocket, and for my workers also. And I'm very, very happy that you guys are understanding this and going to repeal this tax.
Yeah,
people who own little mom and pop shops.
Yeah, no question. But by the way, Larry Sufferton, the one who voted to maintain the tax, he's also the one who promulgated those paid sick leave rules and the scheduling rules imposing Cook County mandates on businesses. I mean, it is almost like they want to drive business out of Cook County. I mean, it's happening anyway, but they're doubling and tripling down on it. And so what's the reaction going to be all this? Because they repeal the soda tax, we're all going to celebrate? Isn't that what we did with Toni Preckwinkle initially? She's not Todd Stroger, and she repealed the Todd Stroger sales tax increase. Yay! Right until she reimposed it.
Right. Well, I just wonder how else they're going to stick it to us now. Well, because I have tax fatigue right now. I've got to be honest with you.
So 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. You going to go back to not paying attention and kind of just, throwing up your hands now that it looks like the revolt against the sugary beverage tax is going to be successful and result in its repeal? Or are you going to use that as momentum to take the next hill, to make the next fight? And by the way, with all the talk that we've had about getting a Republican primary challenge to Bruce Rauner and talking about legislative races, getting good Republican candidates, from my perspective, to run against Madigan Flax and toadies around the state. How about a Republican presence in Chicago and Cook County? How about a Republican candidate against Toni Preckwinkle, since the Democrats don't seem inclined to challenge her in a primary?
What about Toni Pareca?
She's been taken down several notches.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's her. I mean, she's vulnerable right now.
Toni Pareca, you suggested?
Toni Pareca. Remember that commercial?
I do now.
Oh, we'll find
Did you voice that? Did you sing that?
No, it was a gospel choir.
Toni Pareca singers?
But I heard it over and over again. It's embedded in my mind.
Mike on the north side. Mike on the north side.
Good morning.
Yeah, there you go.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call. First off, Cook County voters are idiots. They're lemmings. You'll get upset over this, but they've been stealing your property taxes for years, and you don't do a thing about it. You keep voting in the same corrupt, inbred people. You deserve it. Second of all these people from these health associations that are coming out against it, and all these health professionals, and all these politicians, it's about the children. You don't care about the children. If you did, you wouldn't have abortions at Cook County Hospital, would you? What's worse for a child, obesity or death?
Thanks.
Just one Democrat answer that for me. One.
Thanks for the call, Mike. But it is, cigarette taxes. Don't smoke, but you have to smoke because we've already budgeted for and spent the money we expect to realize. Hey, don't illegally turn right on red. Don't blow through red lights. It's about safety. But we need you to because we've already budgeted for and spent the money that we expect to generate. Don't gamble. Hey, save your money. Save your money. Nest egg. Get a couple of months ahead on the mortgage. Don't do that. Don't go gamble at the casino. Oh, no, but we need you to because we've already budgeted for and spent the money we expect to receive from taxes on casinos and video poker and everything and lottery and on, right?
But we need you to buy lottery tickets.
Remember this phrase.
Education.
Remember this phrase. If you want to understand government in this state, and particularly in Cook County and Chicago, predatory government. Predatory government. That's what this is. Jimmy on the Kennedy.
Yeah, I have a suggestion, and it's a business suggestion. I think, well, first of all, I'm glad Michael Bloomberg wasted $10 million of his own dollars.
Me too.
So, second off, I think they should announce, starting a month from whenever they announce it, that Cook County is going to lower all their taxes, lower from cars to cigarettes to everything, 1.5 percentage points less than every surrounding county, and see the influx of people coming into Cook County to spend money. You'll make it up 5 times more than these taxes. They think if you tax them more, they're going to make more revenue. But in actuality, if you reduce the taxes to the people that are around you, the counties, they're going to come into Cook County, spend more, you're going to get more on the long run, and people are going to be happy. They don't think like that.
You're right. They don't think like that, and you're thinking correctly, Jimmy. Thanks for the call.
Why
it's
can't
a
they
great
just-
idea.
Why can't they just cut spending?
Well, okay, whoa.
Maria Pappas came out yesterday and she said, I have a budget here where we don't need a new tax. If we get rid of the soda tax, follow this plan, and we'll be fine. And she's cutting her office by 10%.
Are you trying to throw picnic table inspectors out of work? Is that what you want to do?
It's the Forest Preserve Police that really... By the way, if you want to murder somebody, do it in the Forest Preserve because the chances of them solving the murder, slim to none.
Thanks for the advice.
You're welcome. I'm here for you.
Here's the thing. We asked Richard Boykin that because the projected revenue they expected to realize from the soda tax, $200 million, never going to be anywhere near that number, obviously, per the August numbers. But let's just use their phony baloney projections for the sake of argument. So $200 million, $5 billion. So that's less than 4% of your annual budget. Does anyone who in Cook County or in the Western world believe that you couldn't find efficiencies in county government to make up 4%?
4%.
The county budget. I mean, it's laughable. But what's not laughable is what Mike on the North Side said. But then what? You're just going to send Preckwinkle back, and you're going to send all of these commissioners back, particularly the insufferable Suffrenden?
We got to get rid of him, but we got to get rid of her.
Sean in Hampshire.
Yeah, I was just thinking that it's kind of a shame that our representatives really don't know our history because, one of the things that we revolted about was the sugar tax.
Yes.
In 1667.
I love it.
So it's kind of sad that these guys really don't know the history and how constantly taxing us causes the public to revolt.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Sean. I'm glad they don't because it's about time we revolt. I mean, the layers and layers, the highest state and local tax burden in the country, and that hasn't spurred a revolt, but the sugary beverage drink tax did. So that's good that it can happen, but it shouldn't be limited to that tax.
It was a standing room only meeting yesterday, and you should have seen the crowd outside waiting to get in. I've never seen this before. It's awesome.
I think Ron on the South Side was at the meeting. Hey, Ron.
Yeah, good morning. Yes, I did get an opportunity to speak. Real quick, Amy, just a quick correction.
Yes,
Maria
sir.
Pappas said she can take a 12% cut, not only a 10%, 12%. One of the best things about it was that it was established from the beginning that was a big lie and a farce about that it was relative to help had nothing to do. But you know what? The biggest piece of crap was like the David Orr or something who said, well, one of the biggest problems that we have in the county is the state because they owe us money.
Right.
But again, I'm glad he's gone. But there has to be some Republican to run against President. You got to cut the head off. And it's right now with the way this feeling is going now, there are people who are looking for some kind of a Republican candidate as an alternative. But anybody that witnessed that, all of them, just a bunch of garbage down there. You need to get rid of all of them, and Boykin and the rest of them. But it was a victorious day to see people come out. But we have to continue it, just not for that tax, for all of these taxes. So thanks a lot, guys. Have a good day.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks for bringing home a W yesterday.
Yeah, good for you.
Clay in Downers Grove.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. These quote-unquote politicians got exactly what they wanted. They got people to stop drinking sugary drinks. So why is it being repealed?
Well, yeah, right. I mean, yeah, they didn't really get that
children.
though, because the other thing you have to do, like they do with so much other, so much with everything else, including even paying at the pump, people go to Collier County or Northwest Indiana.
I went to DuPage County. I stocked up for our block party.
There you go.
I bring cigarettes and stuff into the city for my friends all the time.
That's it. I mean, thanks for
That's
the
why
call,
you
Clay.
beat the system.
I mean, look, I arbitrage. I mean, and to make a little money on the side, I side hustle. I sell.
You have another side hustle.
I sell cigarettes in Cook County one at a time, arbitraging the tax difference. I'm making a killing. Phil and Addison.
Good morning, guys. That's also how Eric Gardner got killed. However you want to. I'm not taking a side on it. But
Let me bring the conversation down.
Thanks for the heads
So,
up.
my question is, why has never legislation been introduced to itemize every tax and give some form or something at the end of the year? All this taxing seems to be simply resolved if someone could come up with a legislation. We either have to directly pay taxes,
Yes.
we don't indirectly pay them,
Yes.
or they're itemized directly. Can you tell me if someone's ever introduced something like that?
Thanks for the call, Phil. I mean, it's a good point. Totally agree. There have been efforts like to itemize your the receipt at the pump, so you see just how much of the cost per gallon is taxation at every level of government. That has been prevented. You get to sort of an itemization on your property tax bill, but it's a bit inscrutable. Which is why defendhomeowners.com distills that for you if you want a property tax report on your home. But you're right. Direct payment, have to write the check. One of the things I want to do just on the property tax, I've suggested, don't allow people to pay property taxes out of escrow. You have to write the property tax check.
You're right.
So you feel the pain that moment. Because, as we're indicating here, the revolt shouldn't stop at the soda tax.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Tough times hitting the wine industry at home and abroad, and Detroit cheers a move by Google. Those stories next. Are you being intimidated by the IRS? Rapid Resolution Tax Group is a team of tax attorneys, enrolled agents, and tax professionals who've helped thousands of people with problems just like yours, and they promise not to let the IRS intimidate you. If you are an individual or business who owes at least $10,000 to the IRS, you can turn to them for help. Has your bank account been levied? Do you have years of unfiled tax returns? Let Rapid Resolution Tax Group intervene for you. They're accredited with and A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they guarantee same-day contact with the IRS. If you qualify, Rapid Resolution Tax Group can work towards settling your tax debt for less, removing penalties and fees, and stopping levies and garnishments. Call the professionals at Rapid Resolution Tax Group at 800-601-2929. That's 800-601-2929. California's wine industry already hard hit by out-of-control wildfires that have destroyed vineyards in the Sonoma and Napa Valley region. And hail, frost, and droughts in Europe have cut into the grape harvest there, making it the smallest in 36 years. In Sicily, wine production has fallen 35% this year. The Labor Department today releasing its job openings and labor turnover survey, a snapshot of how the labor market is progressing in the fourth quarter, and business leaders in Detroit hailing a decision by Google to move from the suburbs into downtown Detroit. The company leaving Birmingham, Michigan for a new 34,000 square foot space in the center of the city, which is undergoing something of a high-tech renaissance. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
It takes a lot of courage to face your own death, but I'm glad I finally did. See, I was putting off getting life insurance to protect my family, even though I knew it was important. Then my neighbor's husband died. I watched her struggle emotionally and financially. It really made me face reality. If my husband died, how would I pay the mortgage, the car payments, or keep up the life the kids and I had? I realized I needed to get us life insurance right away. So I called AIG Direct. In less than 5 minutes, I had a quote. I was shocked at how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. I feel so much better knowing my family has protection.
Call AIG Direct right now for a free no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you can save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-900-5338. That's 1-800-900-5338. 1-800-900-5338.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
It's a wonderful product. I mean, it's an absolute wonderful product. I'm so grateful that I heard about it. Yeah. And at first I didn't take it faithfully. I'd forget. And then I'd say about a month and a half, 2 months ago, I really started taking it right. And what a difference. What a difference.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND.
What's happening? What does it mean? Why is it important? We've got the answer. AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
A 100-year-old man and his 98-year-old wife among the victims in the California wildfires. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. They were found in a charred home. Among the 17 people killed, a few hundred more are unaccounted for around wine country.
The sheriff came on early this morning here and said that they've cleared about 50 of those, meaning they found 50 or so people so far. So that bring that number back down towards 200. But the communications, he says, are very difficult because cell phone is down. There's a lot of power out still.
Fox's Adam Housley in Sassoon, more than 200,000 homes and buildings have burned down, and those fires are still not contained.
The winds died down right before sunup, so the fire's really laid down here. But as soon as that sun comes up, the wind's expected to pick up and things are expected to get going again. So kind of giving firefighters a bit of a break right now.
President Trump will go to Pennsylvania today to push for tax reform the morning after his victory at the Supreme Court. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, the justices dismissed a challenge to President Trump's second travel ban, which restricted travel from predominantly Muslim nations deemed terror threats. The Trump administration asked the High Court to dismiss the case after the president signed a new order restricting travel from 8 countries. Travel Ban 3.0 affects Iran, Chad, Libya, North Korea, Somalia, Syria, Venezuela, and Yemen. Critics have said they plan to challenge this latest version of the travel ban as well. Dave.
Rachel, the president tweeted this morning, "It's about time the NFL is demanding players stand for the national anthem." Commissioner Roger Goodell put out a league-wide memo saying players have taken a knee is dividing us from our fans, saying all players should stand from now on. Harvey Weinstein's gone to Europe to check into sex rehab. That's what TMZ reports as the fired Hollywood producer faces growing allegations of sexual misconduct. His wife wants a divorce.
Georgina Chapman is leaving Harvey Weinstein. The Marchesa designer released a statement to People magazine saying, "My heart breaks for all the women who have suffered tremendous pain."
That's Fox's Michelle Polino. Fox News, fair and balanced. Cloudy and 57 degrees, northeast winds at 16 miles an hour. 7:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott. Last night's Game 4 of the NLDS, a washout, postponed due to rain. They'll try again this afternoon. Cubs skipper Joe Maddon says they can't worry about things out of their control.
I don't want to try to over-dissect anything. It's just the way the weather showed up today. Nobody's fault. It's raining, and then you move on from there.
Cubs currently lead the best-of-5 series 2-1. Cook County commissioners are a step closer to repealing the controversial soda tax. AM 560's David Stewart says the county board will finalize that repeal today.
The committee vote was 15-1, and among the 15 was Republican Sean Morrison.
I believe what we heard over the last 10 and 11 months is that our residents are fed up, and they finally said enough. Tax fatigue has sunk in.
Also voting to repeal was Democrat Richard Boykin.
The people in my district, by an overwhelming majority, don't want this tax.
After the board confirms the repeal, the tax disappears December 1st, leaving a $200 million hole in the budget. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
The ex-chief of Chicago's new police oversight agency is running for Illinois Attorney General next year. Sharon Fairley announced her bid yesterday among a growing list of candidates that will seek the Democratic nomination to replace current AG Lisa Madigan. The varsity football coach at Chicago's Whitney Young High School is stepping down. DNA Info reporting Tim Franken resigned yesterday. The move comes after the football team's final 3 games were canceled due to a lack of eligible players. Again, baseball, we'll keep our eyes on the Cubs and Nationals in the NLDS and the Yankees and Indians in their AL Division Series. Blackhawks scored 3 unanswered goals. Pull past the Canadiens 3-1. Bulls upend the Cavaliers. The Derrick Rose-led Cleveland Cavaliers 108-94 in preseason action. The news, a service of Farmers Insurance. As the road you travel changes, so does your insurance need. Talking with a farmer's agent can help you assess whether you're ready for the journey ahead. Find an agent at farmers.com. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Kurt Penn, founder and CEO of Good Foods. In 2007, I was shopping in a natural foods grocery store and had a vision for a company that would produce fresh, all-natural foods with a social conscience. Signature Bank helped turn that vision into what now is Good Foods. Signature Bank President Mick O'Rourke listened to our story and learned about our business. Mick has been with us every step of the way. Signature Bank takes care of the details so we can focus on producing good foods. Signature Bank is deeply invested in our success. Good Foods is very proud to bank with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
7:06. Let's get an update on the morning commute in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with the very latest. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The inbound Edens is heavy. Dempster to Montrose, 42 minutes. Lake Hook to the junction, outbound 26. The Kennedy, an hour from O'Hare to downtown, 20 minutes from Montrose, 18 of the Express. Outbound, the Addison exit is blocked after an earlier truck crash. 58 minutes to Montrose, an hour and 8 minutes downtown to the airport. The Eisenhower, an hour and 18 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, an hour from Manheim. Outbound, 37 minutes to Manheim, an hour and 2 minutes to Thorndale after a crash at York Road. Stevenson, an hour and 18 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 58 minutes. Ryan, 32 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 36 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 55. Tri-State, southbound heavy 47th to the Stevenson with a crash in the left lane. Northbound from Cicero to 31st and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. The Adams Tollway is okay. Reagan Tollway jammed from the Fox River to Mill where there's a reported crash. Then 83 to the Tri-State. Veterans Memorial heavy 127th to the Reagan Tollway. Roosevelt to St. Charles. And from the Army Trail Toll to 290. Eastbound I-80 it's slow Larkin to Briggs. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, mostly cloudy and breezy. A little rain for the morning, followed by spotty drizzle for the afternoon. High today, 63. Mostly cloudy through the night tonight with a low 54. Then remaining mostly cloudy tomorrow, high 65. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Light rain back on the radar, 58 at O'Hare. Next news at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by Wine Time Radio. Every Saturday at 10 p.m. on AM 560. Explore the wonderful world of wine with host James Crooker and Rob Lehner.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We're kind of having a conversation about the pending repeal of the Cook County sugary beverage tax, much to the chagrin of Queen Sugar. But also, we were getting some how to commit a crime tips from Amy. Ann B. Davis's bowling ball wants to know if Amy's how to commit crime tips will become a regular segment. You suggested that if you want to murder someone, you should dispose of the body in the Cook County Forest Preserve.
Oh, yeah. But, of course, the homicide should be completed with a MyPillow because you can put it in the washer and dryer right away on a hot cycle with a little bleach and erase all of the evidence.
I don't think that's what
Mike Lindahl had planned.
I don't think what Mr. Lindahl wants you to do with MyPillow. I think he just wants you to sleep on it, not permanently.
Then you dump the body in the Forest Preserve, and then the Forest Preserve investigators, police officers.
Boy, those are fighting words.
Will probably never solve the case.
Words.
No, I'm not homicidal, and I don't have homicidal tendencies. I've just covered a lot of murders, and or you can hit somebody with a leg of lamb and then eat the leg of lamb, serve it for dinner. Huh?
Well, this is an awkward way to bring on our next guest, but maybe he'll have some information that would suggest otherwise. I don't know if Cook County Commissioner Tim Schneider wants people dumping bodies in the Forest Preserve or not. I suspect he doesn't. Tim Schneider, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, good morning, Dan. Good morning, Amy. No, I don't want to segue into the crime story.
Yeah. Good.
I'd rather talk about something else, something pretty important this morning.
Yeah. Way to resist. By the way, Tim Schneider, also a member of the championship team at the Forest Preserve Foundation outing this summer. Tim Schneider and me. And a couple of other gentlemen.
Congratulations.
We won that event.
And what were you, 27 under?
Yeah, something like that.
I think we were something like 27 under, and Dan drove 3 of the par 4s. It's a pretty long ball, Amy.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, please note that for the record. This is an official Cook County Commissioner sanctioned statement there. Okay, Tim, so yesterday, 15-1, the insufferable Suffredin, the only Cook County Commissioner to vote to maintain the sugary beverage tax. Was that essentially a straw vote, or are we going to see, do you think, a similar vote today to formalize the repeal?
Well, I think, if you'll pardon the pun, I think yesterday was a really sweet day for the people of Cook County. And, the people of Cook County stood up over the special interests, the Bloomberg ads and everything that was going on around this, and stuck by the people of Cook County. And when this vote passed 8-8, actually it was voted 8-8, and the president cast the deciding vote some time ago. I think the rest of the commissioners listened to the people of their districts and decided this was so unpopular to the tune of 88 to 90% of the people in Cook County opposed this tax that, they had to turn their votes around. Many of them, unfortunately, didn't do it for the reasons that were the main reasons, which was it was driving people out of Cook County. Certain that retailers were going to have to close within the next year, but many of them were just worried about their possibility of re-election, so they changed their vote. And as you just mentioned, it was just Larry Suffredin was a 15-1 vote, and I believe that vote will be consistent when it's ratified at the regular board meeting this morning.
So if the sugary drink tax goes away, will those insufferable commercials stop? Or is Michael Bloomberg going to keep flooding our airways with this propaganda?
Well, I can think of the only winner in this whole debate, and that was the television stations that ran these pro and con tax repeal, beverage tax repeal commercials. They must have made a bundle of money.
Well, now, speaking of the Cook County budget, because Tony Preckwinkle is already kind of telegraphing defeat and saying, I continue to work towards a balanced budget, blah, blah, blah. Is it possible? Is it possible to reduce county spending by, say, 1 or 2 or even, God forbid, 3% to make up for any of the projected revenue, as rosy as it was, that was expected from the soda tax?
Well, certainly it is, Dan, and this is something I've been looking forward to for over a decade that I've been on the county board, is really making tough decisions and cutting like our families in the county have had to cut over the last decade, especially through the recession. The county government has just grown from a $3.5 billion government to an over $5.6 billion government. You know, we're the 19th largest government in the United States, but unfortunately, over the last 2 years, more people have left Cook County than any other county in the United States. So this is our chance. This is our opportunity to cut the county budget and square things with the people and live within our means like they have had to for such a long time. And when you're talking about $200 million in a $5.6 billion budget, I think it should be fairly easy to do as long as the separately elected officials don't continue to come out with, you know, eliminating their most the most important services, that their core services, most important things they provide, and that's what they generally throw out there first instead of looking at the things that will less likely affect the public.
Sure.
So we need to work. You know, it's always the sheriff who wants to eliminate the bomb squad. Then I have 133 police chiefs showing up to hearings. You can't eliminate the bomb squad. You can't eliminate the bomb squad. Or as the assessor said yesterday, he's going to eliminate all the suburban offices.
Yeah.
You know, and then we're going to outcry at people who want to use our suburban offices and don't want to have to drive downtown. So that's what they throw out there first. So we have to.
Right. They're calling the bluff, right? I mean, this is Thomas Sowell's great formulation. Should we cut vaccinations for children or a statue to Benedict Arnold? Well, let's cut the vaccinations for children because then we can have an outcry about it. We'll protect the vaccinations for children, and we'll also get the funding for the statue of Benedict Arnold. That's the game that the big government spenders always play, and it's your right to identify it and potentially stand up to it. But I wonder if this is it's frustrating to you that, you know, frankly, not very much attention is paid to Cook County government. It's being paid right now because of this tax and the revolt over it. But are you worried at all that then people will kind of go back to not being as engaged in what's happening with county government as they have been over the last several weeks?
Well, I think you're absolutely right, Dan. There was not this outcry when we raised the sales tax twice. We raised it under Todd Stroger. We repealed it, and then we raised it again under Toni Preckwinkle when she said she would never do that. But there wasn't the outcry. I want to compliment the Beverage Association that stuck to the marching order and made this created this awareness program with the people of Cook County. I think we need to create awareness in Cook County. As I said, you know, nearly 43% of all the people in Illinois live in Cook County, over 5.25 million people. And what we're seeing is this big behemoth that's grown out of it. To the tune of, you know, going from $3.5 billion to $5.6 billion dollars in our budget. We have over 23,000 employees. I think it's up to the people of Cook County to tell us and to be our checks and balances and weigh in on things and not let us, you know, sleep under the covers here. And they need to rise up and listen to what's going on in the county. And frankly, you know, we've seen nothing but growth in government, growth in taxes. Look at our pension debt. I mean, people need to rise up at this time and really take a stake in the future, because before long, they're not going to be able to afford to live in Cook County or Chicago or anywhere around here.
Are any names
moving out?
Yeah.
Wisconsin, Indiana, Iowa, and they're already doing that.
Are any, sorry for interrupting you. Are any names being floated around as Republican challengers to Toni Preckwinkle for
like
Cook
Tim
County
Schneider?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I don't. What we are actually looking at candidates. I'm speaking with Sean Morrison, the Cook County chairman, and we're looking at people. It's a tough hill to climb, but she is particularly vulnerable. But as you know, Danny, the numbers are really difficult to overcome. I think I listened to you yesterday on your show, and you said, you know, statewide the numbers are, you know, 8% upside down for Republicans, and certainly in Cook County, it's at least double that. So you'd have to find somebody who could gain traction on both sides of the aisle. It probably wouldn't be me, because I've opposed the public employee unions since I've been on the county board, and that wouldn't bode well for me.
Well, but yeah, but I think it's important, and I know you're also the Illinois State Party Republican chairman. Sean Morrison, you mentioned, as the Cook County Commissioner, is the Cook County chairman. You know, it's important to put a marker down to establish a beachhead, you know, to have somebody that's credible, even if they're, you know, even if the incline is particularly steep, which it is running in Cook County. Obviously, there hasn't been a Republican Cook County board president since Ogilvie in, I think, 66.
So we're due.
Yeah.
I would say this, Dan. I would say if we
So-
can find a credible candidate, I'm 100%.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Yeah.
Because there needs to be checks and balances. And Tony Preckwinkle, who came in as a reformer, so-called reformer, 8 years ago, has turned out to be everything but a reformer. And there need to be some checks and balances. And I'm hoping we can find a competent, credible candidate to run against her.
And as state party chairman, I got to ask you about the governor as well and what you think about the revolt, frankly, within the party against Governor Rauner.
Well, I think this was all designed by Mike Madigan over the last couple of years. He hatched up, this immigration, the Trust Act bill, and now HB 40 to just divide the party. And unfortunately, he's been effective in doing that. And I think my job as state chairman is going to be to try to bring everybody together, because if we really want a progressive income tax, if we want to see AFSCME and SEIU run rampant all over the state of Illinois, and not let the people, represent themselves and see, as we've seen since the year 2000, 1.2 million people have left the state of Illinois. We want to see that decline continue. Well, then that's what we need to do, is divide ourselves and let J.B. Pritzker and Mike Madigan continue to control the state and have the status quo for another decade. Let them control the map in 2020, and then you'll see the demise of Illinois. We need to stay together as Republicans, not let Mike Madigan and these bills divide us, and rise up and strike back and reelect the governor, and where we can, pass really conservative policies. Once we take over the House, which is another thing that you're working on with us, Dan, and that's to try and get good candidates and take the House in 2018. If we can win 9 seats in the House, we take over the House, and then Madigan is gone. And then we can really talk about turning Illinois around, turning the ship around, and reforming the state of Illinois. And it's very, very possible if and only Republicans stay together.
He is Cook County Commissioner and Illinois Republican State Party Chairman Tim Schneider. Tim, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks, guys.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper, hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
More bedwetting at Berkeley. But first, here's your forecast. Soggy start to your day. It's been breezy, wind gusts of up to 30 miles per hour in times. We're going to have a little morning rain followed by spotty drizzle in the afternoon. Keep your fingers crossed. We should get in Game 4 of the Division Series starting around 3:08 this afternoon. Tonight, cloudy, a low of 54. And tomorrow, mostly cloudy, still cool, a high in the mid-60s. Let's get into our alarm detection systems. Traffic Center, just a slick mess out there. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. The outbound Kennedy's jammed from the Hubbard Tunnel to Addison, where now only the exit ramp remains blocked after an earlier truck crash. Travel time is an hour and 10 minutes downtown to O'Hare, inbound 58 minutes. Eden's 42 minutes late Cook to the Kennedy, outbound 26. Eisenhower, an hour and 18 minutes. Thorndale to the post office, outbound an hour and 2 minutes. Stevenson, an hour 18. 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 52 minutes. Ryan, 32 minutes, 95th to downtown, I-57, now 50 minutes, I-80 to the merge, and Bishop Ford, 55. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, jammed, Hollywood to North Avenue, northbound from the Stevenson to Jackson. Southbound Tri-State, slow 21 to 176, and 47th to Stevenson, northbound from Cicero to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Adams Tollway, heavy Manheim to the Tri-State, Reagan Tollway, the Fox River Bridge to 355, and 83 to the Tri-State. Veterans Memorial, Archer, most of the way to St. Charles, and the Army Trail toll to 290. Northwest Indiana's good. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Oh, it's coming, the flu season, you know it. And you know how to protect yourself against colds and viruses, yeah, but do you know how to protect your computer network? Ransomware, viruses, hacks, intrusions can cripple your company's computer network, stopping business in an instant. Is your network safe and protected? Can your data be restored easily? If not, you need to make an appointment with Turnkey IT today. Turnkey IT provides frontline security for your network and its data. So if there is an email attachment opened in error or network intruder, Turnkey IT immediately knows and remedies the situation. They'll arm your network with cutting-edge antivirus disaster recovery, and proactive monitoring software systems to stop virus outbreaks before they have a chance to spread. Over the phone or in person, Turnkey IT is your network safeguard against this season's worst bugs. See what a dose of Turnkey's proactive support can do for you. It's easy. Visit turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I used to take 7 vitamin supplements, and I still felt sluggish at times. But with Balance of Nature, I don't feel sluggish at all. Don't do what I did. I took 7 different supplements, vitamin supplements, and they really didn't help in the long run. I still felt sluggish. But with Balance of Nature, I have the extra boost of energy, and I thank you all again. I really, really mean it.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do each morning on this show. Long-form interviews with opinion leaders are against the current segments. This week featuring Richard Boykin, Cook County Commissioner, in advance of today's repeal vote. But we cover other policy difficulties at Cook County and the difficulties they impose on Illinois families and businesses in Cook County. Also, this week on Against the Current, the Northridge Prep High School headmaster Neil Fagan and athletic director Will Ray on how they turn young boys into responsible, respectful, and successful men. 60 Seconds to Sanity commentaries from yours truly. Podcast for Illinois Rising program covering state policy and politics, as well as our Follow the Logic, Man on the Street segments, and 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes at Illinois Opportunity Project. And again, defendhomeowners.com, defendhomeowners.com, where you can get a free report on the property taxes on your home, providing a lot of good contextual information. Defendhomeowners.com and upstream-ideas.com.
Are you looking for a way to create the life you really deserve? Hi, I'm Dean Kane, actor, director, and real estate investor, and I have to tell you about this amazing opportunity you just can't afford to miss. The National Real Estate Network is offering a free DVD called My Network is My Net Worth, where you can see for yourself the house flipping system that has taken the nation by storm. Who would have thought creating a network of thousands of investors working together to find, fund, buy, or sell properties for profit was so simple? So if you're ready to start making money flipping houses, call now to get your free DVD.
Call 1-800-437-1471 now for your free DVD and learn how to get started making thousands of dollars flipping houses. Call 800-437-1471 immediately, and you'll also get free tickets to a live training event where you'll receive a free meal and a gift package worth hundreds of dollars just for attending. Call 800-437-1471. That's 800-437-1471 and get your free DVD today.
After your choice of spouse, where you send your kids to school is the most important decision you make. That's why I'm excited to tell you about Northridge Preparatory School, an independent Catholic school for boys in grades 6 through 12. There's no brainwashing that's prevalent elsewhere. Northridge Prep instills the traditional values that you hold as parents. Northridge Prep is all boys with an all-male faculty. They celebrate your son's natural enthusiasm. It's a good place to be a boy. I'm impressed by the men who teach there. They're great role models, and they get to the hearts of their students. Their demanding liberal arts curriculum produces well-rounded men with the ability to think for themselves. Northridge Prep grads go on to the best universities, including the Ivy League, have top athletics and arts programs, and are ranked the #1 best all-boys school in Illinois and a top 100 high school in America from U.S. News. I strongly encourage you to attend Northridge Prep's open house on October 22nd. Again, their open house is on October 22nd. To learn more, visit northridgeprep.org. That's northridgeprep.org.
Napa know-how. It takes a lot to get excited about a bag, but most bags can't save you 20% on auto parts. That's 20% off headlamps, 20% off oil filters, 20% off virtually anything you can fit inside the 99-cent Napa reusable bag. So tell your buddies, there's a bag they just have to check out. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Napa know-how. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Minimum 3 items. Exclusions apply. Offer ends 10/31/17.
Allergy sufferers, my name's Nigel, and as a well-educated owl, I know the difference between what's wise and unwise. Texting after 3 glasses of Merlot? Unwise. Using Zysol for 24-hour relief of your allergy symptoms? Quite wise. Because Zysol is just as effective at hour 24 as it is at hour 1, relieving your symptoms for a better night's sleep and a more productive day. So for continuous 24-hour allergy relief, don't be unwise. Be wise all. Take Zysol. Use as directed.
Hey, you've heard how Automated Systems excels at assisting companies with systems integration and FDA compliance, but they're also a staffing leader. They supply handpicked elite leadership, subject matter experts, and proven technical professionals in engineering, quality control, and FDA compliance to support the life sciences field in executing mission-critical projects. ASI provides highly specialized pros to deliver projects on time and budget. Don't pay a lot more to a big consulting firm, and don't trust the big temp agencies to supply the talent you need. Call Laz, my friend Laz at Automated Systems, when failure isn't an option. ASI is retained by all of Chicagoland's Fortune 500 life sciences companies, from big pharma to startups, and excel through a culture of excellence in execution. For a staffing, compliance, or automation evaluation, call Laz now at Automated Systems at 844-HIRE-ASI or visit AutomatedSYS.com. That's 844-HIRE-ASI or AutomatedSYS.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, quickly take Pete in Montgomery reacting to the Tim Schneider interview. Pete, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi. I think Tim is smoking something if he thinks we're going to re-elect Governor Rauner, who has failed us at every possible turn. And as far as flipping the House goes, it's not 9 seats. It's 24. We've got 15 surrender monkey Republicans.
Well, right.
And then nine Democrats. So
correct.
Yeah, it's not going to happen anytime soon.
Well, thanks for the call, Pete. Let me just say Tim Schneider has a difficult job with respect to the governor's race. With respect to the House races, something I'm more materially involved in, 9 of those 15 have already voluntarily left, thanks largely to the organizations with which I'm affiliated pushing them out. So now you're down to 6, and we're challenging the other 6. And then you're right. Then it's the 9 seats in the general election. And by the way, I think there is a decent chance to do that. And I think the chance of doing that is much better than it is winning the governorship because of how much Governor Rauner has decimated the brand for that office. Nothing is impossible, but he's made it very, very difficult.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
I saw Steve Moore in Wilmette this week.
Oh, my gosh. How was it?
Very nice. And we're going to talk to him at 7:37 about taxes.
And later, the real Hurricane Harvey is hitting Hollywood. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
58 and rain showers. Wildfires burning across Northern California have scorched 120,000 acres. That number could get larger today. Forecasters say low humidity and winds gusting to 40 miles an hour will make firefighting conditions miserable. 20,000 forced out of their homes. CAL FIRE's Brett Govea this morning talked about the property losses in the Tubbs fire.
Right now, just on the Tubbs fire, we would project that we're anywhere between 1,500 and 3,000 structures lost.
Fires burning north of San Francisco, blamed for 17 deaths. Hundreds of dwellings have been burned in a fire burning in Southern California in Orange County. Harvey Weinstein reportedly on his way to Europe to enter a sex rehab program. TMZ says the 65-year-old former movie mogul is seeking treatment for sex addiction after being accused of harassing women for years. And another Hollywood actress says Harvey Weinstein made sexual advances toward her.
I pulled my arm away, finally, and headed to the door. He started following me and telling me that he could introduce me to Bob Weinstein and that I could get a 3-picture deal and that he would greenlight my script. But I had to watch him masturbate.
Loisette Geis came forward yesterday to tell of an encounter that allegedly happened in 2008. President Trump heads to Pennsylvania today to talk up his tax plan. There will be planned protests. The U.S. Navy is relieving 2 officers of the USS John McCain of duties following an accident that left 10 sailors dead on August 21st. Last night's Game 4 of the NLDS, Cubs and Nationals rained out. The game expected to be played today at 3:08. Cook County commissioners a step closer to repealing the soda tax. A finance committee vote 15-1 yesterday in favor of ending the penny an ounce tax. A full repeal vote is scheduled for later today. A man is in custody following a bank robbery in Third Lake. The FBI says the suspect robbed an Associated Bank branch yesterday on Route 45. In Illinois' backlog of unpaid bills may be much bigger than reported. Comptroller Susana Mendoza yesterday saying there are billions of dollars worth of invoices languishing in state agencies on top of the nearly $16 billion in unpaid bills stacking up in Mendoza's office. Cubs and Nationals, Yankees and Indians in Major League Baseball postseason action today. Blackhawks winners over the Canadiens 3-1, and the Bulls upend the Cavaliers in the NBA preseason. The news service of the Alzheimer Foundation of America. On Thursday, October 26th, join the Alzheimer's Foundation of America at the Hotel Langham for a free educational conference on Alzheimer's disease and caregiving. For more information or to register, visit alzfdn.org. 7:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The private bank is now CIBC. Their name may have changed, but their commitment to your business is now stronger than ever. Visit CIBC.com/US. Member FDIC.
Acme Home Insurance.
Yes, I'd like to make a claim.
What are you wanting to claim, sir?
My air conditioner broke down.
Sorry, but your home insurance doesn't cover air conditioner breakdowns.
So what do you cover?
Home damage from things like earthquakes, volcanoes, a zombie apocalypse.
A zombie apocalypse? But that'll never happen.
But if it did, you'd be covered, sir.
But not my air conditioner?
I'm afraid not.
But his air conditioner could have been covered with a home warranty from American Home Shield. We cover major components of air conditioners, plus 20 other home systems and appliances, like electrical systems, plumbing, refrigerators, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-400-7011. Homeowners insurance can cover what might happen.
Zombies are coming!
But a home warranty helps cover what will happen.
Now the dryer won't work.
Be sure with the Shield. American Home Shield. For valuable free information, call 1-800-400-7011. That's 1-800-400-7011. 1-800-400-7011.
Have you racked up more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? You should know. The credit card companies are tricking you into thinking there's no way out. Credit card companies would rather you didn't know that there are ways you can become debt-free, and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. There are debt relief programs that help people like you escape overwhelming credit card debt. National Debt Relief has helped tens of thousands of people just like you reduce more than $500 million of debt. National Debt Relief has helped so many people, they're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. You don't have to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan. You have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Reduce a portion of your debt now. Call National Debt Relief at 800-518-4020. 800-518-4020. That's 800-518-4020.
This is an important message for Chicagoland business owners. If you own or rent your building, chances are you're paying more than your fair share of property taxes. Ask yourself this question. If you could lower your property taxes with the help of licensed professionals who have an 80% average success rate, yes, you heard that right, an 80% success rate, lowering business owners' property taxes, would you do that? Corporate Valuation Advisors has reduced their clients' property taxes on average 20% over their 25-year service history throughout the greater Chicagoland area. Here's a Corporate Valuation Advisor's recent property tax savings success story from a local Chicago business owner. First-year property tax savings, $26,265. Total 4-year property tax savings of $104,679. Call Corporate Valuation Advisors. They can help at 833-FAIR-TAX. That's 833-FAIR-TAX. You can also find them at yourfairtax.com or by visiting am560theanswer.com and looking for the Corporate Valuation Advisors banner, or type in Fair Tax in the search area.
7:38. Let's get an update on the morning commute. In our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Kennedy, 58 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Outbound, it's an hour and 10 minutes. The Edens, 35 minutes. Lake Cook to the junction, outbound 40. Eisenhower, an hour and 23 minutes. Thorndale to the post office, outbound an hour 17. Stevenson, an hour and 18 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, about 52 minutes. Bryan, 33 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, absolutely insane. An hour and 20 minutes from 8094 to the Bryan. Tollways are all heavy, and traffic and service of Staples. Staples knows that when the only printer in your office that's not out of ink is 3 flights up, it's time. Staples has great prices on everything you need to print. Like buy one HP ink and get the second at 30% off. Ends 10/14, restrictions apply. See store or staples.com for details. Staples, it's pro time. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. A breezy day, little morning rain, followed by a spotty drizzle this afternoon. 63 for a high temp. Cloudy and 54 overnight. Light rain, 58 right now. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by MJ Miller & Company. The perfect engagement ring awaits at MJ Miller Jewelers in downtown Barrington.
Hey, Joe Walsh here, coming up. You know what? The stock market is at an all-time high because they believe in Trump's agenda. The Republicans in D.C. need to advance that agenda. We'll talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
Dan and Amy, Amy, some people on the North Shore, I've gotten feedback, don't like when we do the Morningwood Academy voices to ridicule the North Shore.
Oh, come on. We're from Mount Prospect. We can never even park there to use their beaches. They're such snobs. But we're better looking anyway.
Okay. Well,
did you say something, Dan?
That's one tack, right? Another tack is this. The North Shore is worthy of ridicule. The North Shore is the home of some of the lowest information voters in the state. True story. You want to talk about low information voters, you think, it's in the poor neighborhoods? No. I mean, some, perhaps, but all of the hyper-educated in places like the North Shore, you think they're all deeply engaged and understand what's happening and know the details and are so intelligent. No, they're not. They're champagne socialists. They're completely detached. Not all of them.
Not all of them.
But that's what's taken over the North Shore, and that's why you have, that's why you have people like Comrade Daniel Biss as a state senator there now running for governor as Bernie Sanders' illegitimate kid. So don't tell me what has happened on the North Shore because I've seen it completely change over the last 25 years. And you know who's responsible for allowing that to happen? The Republican Party in general terms, people who live in these communities in specific terms. So let's take some ownership. If it happened in Wheaton, I'd be taking my share of the blame for allowing it to happen in Wheaton. Okay? So the good news is that there is a group of people. We talked to some of them during the race seminar flap thing at the high school earlier in the year. There's a group of people that are standing up to the Champagne Socialists because the destruction that is being wrought by them on the state as well as on the North Shore is now really manifesting itself, and people have had enough, and they're finally fighting back, and that's great. There's an organization called Neutral Neighbors that's been formed, and these are responsible, highly educated, professional people who are getting more engaged than previously they have, running for local office, going to school board meetings, things that should be happening everywhere, not just in Wilmette or Winnetka or Kenilworth or Glencoe or Highland Park. And this week, earlier this week on Monday, Steve Moore, who's also a North Shore denizen, or he was. He grew up in the North Shore, went to New Trier High School before going to U of I. He was there because he's supporting the effort as well, and good for him for doing that and going back to where he came from to try and help those who are standing up. He was there to give a talk on tax policy and economics, and it was a great talk, and to encourage the people that are getting active at the local level. And it was fun to see him. And now it's fun to talk to him again. He is Heritage Foundation economist, CNN senior economist, an economist for everybody and everything. Steve Moore, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Hi, Dan. Boy, that was a fun night. I mean, first the Cubs win, and then I meet 150 conservatives in the North Shore. Who ever thought you'd have that many? And the thing is that it was really great to see that night. And I was kidding to people that we're going to make the North Shore great again. But it is amazing how left-wing that area has become. You call them, what did you call them, Champagne socialists? I called them Lexus liberals, and what has happened, I've seen this in communities throughout the country, is that people who have a free market kind of traditional values view of the world, are conservative, are being so beaten up by their friends and neighbors that they go into the fetal position and they don't even want to talk about this stuff, or else they're going to get browbeaten by their by their neighbors who feel they're so morally superior. And it's time for us to stop being shut up and shut down and to speak out about the issues that we care about. And we talked a lot, Dan, as you remember, about the minimum wage. Now, the liberals say, oh, you must hate workers if you're not for raising the minimum wage, nonsense. And, the evidence is crystal clear that when you raise the minimum wage, some people do get helped and other people get hurt. The young and the least skilled people lose their jobs. I mean, the evidence is crystal clear on this.
Well, and the interesting thing, I mean, you mentioned the Seattle experience and the Maine experience in your talk. So that's real world experience. Also in Cook County, and you may not be as familiar with this, it didn't come up that night, but the Cook County minimum wage tax increase had an opt-out for Cook County municipalities, and 3/4 of municipalities, 3/4 opted out, and in places, socialist paradises like Oak Park, they came within one vote of opting out. So, they get it at the local level. This is the most frustrating thing in places like the North Shore. They don't believe in theory what they do in practice. Most of the people there practice capitalism, but they reject it in theory.
That's true. And in fact, in Seattle, when they had the $15 an hour minimum wage, they exempted a lot of the public employee unions and the unions. The unions didn't have to comply with the very policy they wanted to impose on others. And I did talk to some restaurant owners and retail owners at that event we were at, and they said, look, if you raise the minimum wage, we're going to have to go from 16 employees to 14 employees or something like that. We just can't afford it. But look, the point isn't whether the minimum wage is a good thing or not. It's let's have the debate. I mean, the problem with liberals today, they don't want to have the debate. They want to basically say you're morally inferior if you don't believe in our policies of higher taxes and minimum wage increases and more government. Great, coming out of the woodwork and saying, you know what, we're sick of this. And by the way, that's exactly why, if you're feeling isolated, I bet a lot of people who are listening to the show are kind of feeling like,
yes,
gosh, I have these conservative views, but I can't express them. Well, you're not alone, folks. I mean, this is why Trump won the election and why it was such a big surprise, because people told pollsters that what they wanted to hear, which is that they were going to vote for Hillary, and then they went into the voter box and they voted for Trump.
Now, do you think some of the Lexus liberals, as you call them, just feel guilty about their wealth? And, because is that a possibility?
Say that again?
Oh, they feel guilty about being wealthy, and that's one reason why.
I think there's a lot of liberal guilt, that they have a lot of affluence, a lot of wealth, and the way that they are going to, apologize to that is by backing very liberal policies and very liberal candidates. And a lot of them are kind of hypocritical because they don't really want, as Dan said, they don't really want these policies to apply to themselves. They want the policies to apply to others. I mean, a perfect example of that is not a North Shore example, but is Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett keeps saying, I want to pay higher taxes. I want to be a patriotic billionaire. And yet he does everything he possibly can to avoid paying taxes. He's never going to pay the estate tax. He's never going to pay the death tax, any of this stuff. He's got the best accountants in the world, but he wants other people to pay higher taxes.
Yeah, the good news is that many of those champagne socialists on the North Shore won't have to worry about their wealth for very much longer if they continue to live in Illinois, because it's being eaten away from them like it is from everyone else. I wanted to get to your talk about tax reform at the federal level.
Yeah.
And one of the things you said, and I hadn't heard you say this before, so I'm glad you did. We talked at the outset of the Trump administration, and we had great trepidation about the likes of Gary Cohn, because these men of always from Goldman Sachs and the big banks turn out to be rent seekers, not free marketeers. And you had some critical words for Cohn with respect to tax reform.
Well, look, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Gary Cohn. I mean, Gary Cohn was for those people who don't know who he is, he's sort of the chief economic advisor for the President Trump. And Gary Cohn was going to be the chief economic advisor for Hillary Clinton. And he's not a conservative. He's not a Republican. And so he doesn't get the message, and he's not very good, in my opinion, of making a case for this. And I just don't think having a Goldman Sachs executive talking about how, tax cuts are good for working-class Americans, I just don't think that the optics of that work very well. I mean, why is it, by the way, Dan? I mean, I've been in town, Washington, D.C. for a long time, through 5 administrations. The first thing they do is stock up, Republicans and Democrats, they just stock up their administration with people from Goldman Sachs. I mean, it's like a revolving door from Goldman Sachs into the administration. And, boy, I would love to see Larry Kudlow take that position. I think the rumor is that Gary Cohn will be out at the end of the year, and Larry would be a much better spokesperson for policies. And
no question.
And we got to get it done. I mean, the bottom line here, Dan, is what the message I really wanted to get across to people on Monday night, and I want to express this to your folks is this has to get done this year. Any Republican, I hope your Republican congressmen and senators are listening to the show. It has to be done this. Oh, did I say Republican senators? I guess you don't have any.
No, we don't have those. We don't feature those here. No.
But, it has to get done this year. The voters are getting agitated by the fact. I mean, conservatives are. I mean, a lot of people came up to me at that dinner, Dan, and said, what the hell is wrong with the Republicans in Washington?
Yeah.
Why can't they get things done? And I was like, well, I didn't have a response.
Well, now, I want to get your take on this, though, too, because we've talked to other economists, free market guys like Jim Pethokoukis over at AEI, and Jim Urio is a CNBC contributor, and they're not as sanguine as you are about the economic impact of tax cuts as have been proposed. And it's good, but it's not going to be something that unleashes powerful economic growth in and of itself. And so I wanted to get you to respond to that.
It kind of depends on the final product. I mean, if we can do the plan that Larry Kudlow and I wrote for Trump, which is get the rates down to 15 to 20% for our businesses, eliminate the incredibly unfair and un-American death tax, and lower tax rates for everybody. I do think it'll have a very positive effect. We are penalizing our businesses by the tune of 20%. Every American business that is doing business in global markets and competing against the Japanese or the Chinese or the Mexican companies, every American company is put at a 20% disadvantage right from the get-go, because we're charging our businesses 40%, and they're charging their businesses 20%. So it's just stupid. I mean, who does that? Who puts ankle weights on their own businesses so they can't run as fast as their competitors? I do think if we get this tax cut done and we get those business rates down, we can get to 3.5% growth. We're already growing at 3%, by the way, under Trump. So you get to 3.5%. A lot of these other problems like the debt, the deficit, the infrastructure crisis, we have money for all of that. We can reduce poverty, reduce unemployment. All of the problems that we face in the nation are so much easier to solve if we get out of this Obama rut of 1.5% growth, which just doesn't cut it anymore.
All right, he is Steve Moore, Heritage Foundation, a CNN economist, also Wall Street Journal columnist. Steve, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Okay, guys, have a great day. Go Cubs.
And also that website, if you're a North Shore denizen and listening, NutrientNeighbors.org is the website for the event that Steve Moore was at, that I was at as well, NutrientNeighbors.org.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I love it. I see a tremendous difference in my skin, in my nails, in my hair, in my energy.
Unlike the people that I hear on the radio, I've had vitamins before, but this makes a much bigger difference than vitamins ever did. That's for sure.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND. That's balanceofnature.com. Promo code WIND.
It's time for a little R&R, courtesy of ChicagoRadioDeals.com. 2 words, Door County. Take a few days off and escape to Wisconsin. Head up to the White Lace Inn, a gorgeous bed and breakfast in Sturgeon Bay. The White Lace Inn features 18 inviting guest rooms, suites, and 4 elegant turn-of-the-century neighboring homes. You can enjoy the gardens, gazebos, and the glory that is Door County. It's a $300 gift certificate for only $150, and it can be applied to overnight stays or items in their store. For another fabulous getaway adventure, purchase an overnight stay package for the Schuster Mansion Bed and Breakfast in Milwaukee. Spend the night in Molly's room, their 2-room luxury suite with a private bath and premier concierge service. It includes breakfast in the Victorian dining room and fresh chocolate chip cookies. Yours for only $85 a couple. That's a $169 value. So check out all the deals only from your good friends at ChicagoRadioDeals.com.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. Illinois is the land of the political cautionary tale. From Denny Hastert to Jesse Jackson Jr. to Aaron Schock to Rod Blagojevich, Illinois Pauls are featured in more tawdry tabloid stories than grainy photos of Sasquatch. But it's all too real in Illinois, and has gotten real ugly for kinda sorta Republican Governor Bruce Rauner. In the last month, the wealthy salesman turned politician has busied himself selling manure-smelling air freshener to the electorate in the form of transgender birth certificates, a sanctuary state designation, and establishing himself as the first governor in U.S. history to mandate taxpayer funding for abortion on demand. In his 3 years as governor, Rauner, who campaigned as having no social agenda, has advanced only a social agenda, and one rooted in cultural Marxism to boot. So as Rauner's poll numbers continue to read like a Chicago thermometer in February, here's the moral of the Rauner candidate profile. Look for the Hank Reardons and look out for the James Taggarts. There's nothing wrong with an outsider businessman, so long as you remember that financial success is not a substitute for core principles, and that business acumen and courage can be mutually exclusive.
Why choose Kubota and Associates to handle your retirement? Well, because we provide objective advice and concierge service, investments, insurance, retirement planning, all at one location. We also partner with qualified attorneys and CPAs to provide complete financial strategies for our clients. We use a variety of investment and insurance products to custom design retirement plans that can give clients a clear look at their future. We help you stay on the path toward financial independence. If you don't want to do it yourself and you want to work with a team to create a financial strategy for your future, give us a call. 630-777-7955. That's 630-777-7955. Would you rather get retirement advice from some TV show host who doesn't know anything about you, or Kubota and Associates? 630-777-7955. Kubota and Associates is a registered investment advisory firm. Jack Kubota is an investment advisor representative and insurance professional. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Have you written a book and want to get it published? Christian Faith Publishing helps thousands of authors just like you publish their books with a company dedicated to strong Christian values. To help you get started, we want to send you our free author submission kit. Christian Faith Publishing reviews every book submitted to us, and if your book is approved, we'll edit, design, copyright protect, print, and distribute your book online and in bookstores everywhere. Imagine seeing your book in specialty Christian bookstores, Amazon, iTunes, Barnes & Noble, and many others. It could happen, and it all starts with one call to Christian Faith Publishing at 800-566-1012 for your free author submission kit. If you have a novel, children's book, poetry, biography, or any inspirational work you've written, we can help you get it published today. Shouldn't you work with a publisher who shares your Christian values of integrity and honesty? You can get your book published. So call for your free author submission kit right now. Call 800-566-1012. That's 800-566-1012. 800-566-1012.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Gina Labus, President and CEO of Mid-States Glass and Metal and a customer of Signature Bank since 2011. As we expanded our business into all aspects of the glass and metal industry, we needed a bank who could grow along with us. That's when we met Mick O'Rourke, co-founder of Signature Bank. Mick and his team took the time to understand the ebbs and flows of our business. They worked with us to find a solution that would support our growth. Mid-States Glass and Metal is proud to work with Signature Bank because they support Chicagoland women-owned businesses like mine.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you're you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, your dental health. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You hear a lot of people screaming at you about dental implants. Get it done in a day, or we can treat everybody, or hundreds of thousands of implants. Look, successful implants don't come from an implant factory. What you don't hear talked about is skill, treatment, and installation. These are what make for successful lifelong implants. And that's why you need to see Dr. Norouzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Norouzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants. You need the experience, skill, and honesty that 24 years of dental implants brings.
This is Dr. Norouzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics, 630-232-7400, 630-232-7400, or just remember, implantsforme.com, implantsforme.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, the real Hurricane Harvey is hitting Hollywood.
Yes, we'll discuss the human stain and Hollywood's men without chests at 8:08.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Cubs and Nationals set to play Game 4 today. Cook County Committee votes to repeal the soda tax. Mayor Emanuel has to donate Harvey Weinstein campaign contributions. The Blackhawks skate past the Canadiens. WIND Chicago News Time, 8 o'clock.
In some neighborhoods, there's nothing left in California's wine country. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
You drive down the road and all you see is hearths, fireplace hearths. That's all that's left.
Among the 2,000 homes and businesses that have burned down already, at least 17 people have died. A few hundred remain unaccounted for, not heard from amid spotty cell service and power outages, and the wildfires still burn out of control.
People early on in Napa County, for example, all evacuated to the west and stayed with friends over there because the fire was burning along the east, which is now burning here in Sassoon. Last night, the fire over on the west side had everybody evacuate to the east. So people that are staying with each other in their homes, evacuating back and forth, trying to avoid the fires.
Fox's Adam Housley amid the North Korean nuclear threat of missile launches and nuke tests. There's something new from North Korea. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, Fox News confirms a cybersecurity company detected spear phishing emails from the North Korean government. The emails were sent last month to American electric companies, raising the specter of an attack on the U.S. power grid. FireEye characterized the activity as early-stage reconnaissance and notes that a massive cyber attack would likely take months of preparation. Still, the company warns North Korea-linked hackers are among the most prolific nation-state threats, targeting not only the U.S. and South Korea, but the global financial system and nations worldwide. Dave.
Rachel, a month and a half after a U.S. Navy destroyer collided with an oil tanker, killing 10 Navy sailors. The commanding and executive officers of the USS John S. McCain have been relieved of their duties. The Navy writing in a statement, it's evident the collision was preventable. Other Navy officers were also relieved of command after another American destroyer crashed into a cargo ship in June, killing 7 sailors. Another emotional night in Vegas.
Please join us in 58 seconds of silence,
honoring those massacred more than a week ago, before the first home game ever for the NHL's Golden Knights hockey team last night. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Light rain showers and 58 degrees. 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Last night's Game 4 of the NLDS, Cubs and Nationals, postponed due to rain. That game will likely be played this afternoon with a first pitch at around 3:08, and the Cubs leading that best-of-5 series 2-1. Cook County commissioners are a step closer to repealing the controversial soda tax. Commissioner Richard Boykin pleased after the County Finance Committee's 15-1 vote in favor of ending the penny per ounce tax.
Let me tell you, I'm overjoyed and elated that this tax is going to go away. I mean, the people in my district, by an overwhelming majority, don't want this tax.
The full board expected to approve the repeal later today. Mayor Emanuel cutting ties with disgraced Hollywood mogul Harvey Weinstein, donating nearly $11,000 in campaign contributions to a mentoring group for at-risk young girls. Again, the Cubs and Nationals on Major League Baseball's docket this afternoon, while the Yankees and Indians play a decisive Game 5. Blackhawks over the Canadiens 3-1. The news service of Audible.com. Audible turns traffic into an escape. mystery, sci-fi bestsellers, motivation. Ride with Audible. Transform your commute with an unbeatable selection of audiobooks. Start a 30-day trial and your first one is free. Go to audible.com. 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. From the Fox Business Network and a service of Turnkey.pro, here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, Delta is reporting a better-than-expected quarter, even though it had to cancel more than 2,000 flights because of Hurricane Irma. Apple TV has a deal with Steven Spielberg to produce TV shows. Spielberg is bringing back his series Amazing Stories. The show originally aired on NBC in the mid-'80s. Apple will spend as much as $50 million for the new version of Amazing Stories. Porsche is starting a subscription service that will provide you with a sports car or SUV for $2,000 a month. Higher-end cars will cost $3,000 a month. Tech website The Verge says the new program Porsche Passport will start in November in Atlanta. The Dow Jones Industrials closed up 69 on Tuesday to a record. The Nasdaq was up 7, the S&P gained 5. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
8:04 in Chicago. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. And hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
8:06 and an update on the morning commute comes from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center and the latest with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Eden's inbound 27 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 45. The Kennedy an hour and 9 minutes. O'Hare to downtown 38 minutes from Montrose. 35 in the Express outbound an hour and 10 minutes to O'Hare. The Eisenhower an hour and 26 minutes. Thorndale to the post office an hour 5 from Manheim. Outbound an hour 18 to Thorndale. Stevenson an hour 18. 3:55 to the drive. Outbound 52 minutes. Bryan 35 minutes. 95th to downtown. I-57 55 minutes. I-80 Verge. Bishop Ford an hour and 6 minutes. Southbound Lakeshore Drive heavy at 40 minutes. Hollywood to Monroe. Northbound slow from the Stevenson to Jackson. Southbound Tri-State delays Washington to 60 and 47th to Stevenson. Northbound Kedzie to 31st. And from the Reagan Tollway to Lawrence. Adams Tollway slow Manheim to the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway jammed. Orchard to Washington at 3:55 to the Tri-State. Veterans Memorial from 159th to St. Charles and North Avenue to 290. Metro problems on the Southwest Service line with a mechanical issue, and on the electric line near Bryn Mawr Station at 71st and Jeffrey. Train striking a vehicle. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte. AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
A breezy day with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies throughout the day and night. We'll have a little rain for the morning, followed by spotty afternoon drizzle. High today 63 and a low 54. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
58 at O'Hare, light rain showers falling. Next news at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. What do the human stain and the leading men of Hollywood have in common? I'll tell you. They're, to borrow from C.S. Lewis in The Abolition of Men, first chapter, they're men without chests. And this is really important to understand this amid all of the kind of surface skimming, superficial silliness coming from the D.C. press corps, the Eastern establishment media on Harvey Weinstein. Men without chests, C.S. Lewis wrote about. These are men who are intelligent but controlled by their appetites, so they behave like animals. So, sensitivity is given over to sensuality and the lust for evermore. And that's what C.S. Lewis talked about, and it results in, a dystopian culture, which is obviously the path that we're on because there's no objective truth. Really important to kind of understand something from a philosophical foundation when you see the manifestation of it. So you're not just addressing the symptoms, you're having a conversation about the fundamentals. And that's why the human stain fleeing, that's not coming out with Lemon, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
That's not, fleeing to Europe to go to a sex addiction clinic.
Yeah, he wants to get back in the movie business, by the way. He said that through a spokesperson that, he's going to go away, he's going to get the help he needs. And he hopes to come back.
Hey, I'm cured, everybody.
Yeah, board, let me in, board members.
A text from Amish texter. Yeah. Good news, Harvey Weinstein is checking into a European sex addiction clinic. Bad news, it's Roman Polanski's. Oh. And the big story yesterday, as this story of Harvey Weinstein's conduct continues to get, we learn about how depraved it was. We get more and more information about the depravity. This piece, ironically, penned by Ronan Farrow, of course, the son of Woody Allen.
Mm-hmm. He spent 11 months researching this. And I read the article. It's pretty well written.
It's good. It's good investigative work. Farrow also talked about being threatened with legal action as he was pursuing this investigation into Weinstein after the New York Times took a pass and after NBC News took a pass. Very interesting. But Farrow talked to 16 former and current executives and assistants at Weinstein's companies who told him they witnessed or had knowledge of unwanted sexual advances and touching at events with Weinstein's films and in the workplace. They and others describe a pattern of professional meetings that were little more than thin pretext for sexual advances on young actresses and models. Also, 3 women, including an aspiring actress named Lucia Evans, told Farrow that Weinstein raped them. And Weinstein, so serious were the allegations that Weinstein was actually the subject of an undercover New York Police Department sting in 2015. And New Yorker obtained the audio of the undercover sting that features a Filipina-Italian model named Ambra Gutierrez. Listen to the interaction caught by New York Police Department between Ms. Gutierrez and the human stain.
I'm telling you right now.
What do we have to do here?
Nothing. I'm going to take a shower. You sit there and have a drink. Water.
I don't drink.
Then
Can I stay on the bar?
No, you must come here now.
No.
Please.
No, I don't want to.
I'm not doing anything with you.
I
now
know.
you're embarrassing me.
I'm sorry. I cannot.
Come in
No,
here.
yesterday was a kind of aggressive for
I
me.
know.
I need to know a person to
I
be
won't
touched.
do a thing.
I don't want
I'll do a thing, please. I swear I won't. Just sit with me. Don't embarrass me in the hotel. I'm here all the time.
I
Sit
know,
with me.
but
I
I don't
promise.
want to.
Please sit there. Please. 1 minute.
No,
I
I
ask
can't.
you. Go to the bathroom.
Please, I don't want to do something I don't want
Go
to.
to the bathroom. Come here. Listen to me.
I want to go downstairs.
I'm not going to do anything. You'll never see me again after this. Okay? That's it. If you embarrass me in this hotel,
I'm not
I stay.
embarrassing you.
Just
It's just that I don't feel comfortable.
I mean, don't have a fight with me in the hallway. Please, I'm not going to do anything. I swear, my children. Please come in. on everything. I'm a famous guy.
I'm feeling very uncomfortable right
Please
now.
come in now. And 1 minute, and if you want to leave, when the guy comes with my
Why
jacket, you can go.
yesterday you touched my wrist?
Oh, please, I'm sorry. Just come on. I'm used to that.
But
Come on.
are you used
Please.
to that?
Yes, come in. Because
No, but I'm not used to that.
I won't do it again. Come on. Sit here. Sit here for a minute, please.
No, I don't want to.
If you do this now, you will embarrass me. No. Fine. Never call me again. Okay? I'm sorry. I promise you I won't do anything.
I know, but yesterday was too
The
much
guy is
for
coming.
me.
I will never do another thing to you. 5 minutes. Don't ruin your friendship with me for 5 minutes.
I know, but it's kind of like, it's too much for me. I can't.
Please, you're making a big scene here.
No,
Please.
but I want to leave.
Okay. Goodbye.
I mean, he is insecure, pathological, a control freak, threatening her. You know, don't ask me. We're not friends anymore. And playing this cat and passive aggressive, and he even admitted that he's used to it. He's used to grabbing women's breasts. So he's like, I did that yesterday. Yeah, I'm used to it.
Right.
And I feel sorry for her.
And the question is, and this goes to Cyrus Vance, who, as we reported yesterday, received a $10,000 campaign donation from Weinstein's lawyer after he declined to prosecute Weinstein. Why was there no prosecution of Harvey Weinstein based on the police resources that were used to do this undercover sting? They obviously thought it was serious enough to take the measures they took to get the evidence they need, in addition to, I mean, if Ronan Farrow can talk to all of these people to provide some frame of reference, and if you've got multiple individuals making allegations, boy, it's a curious decision that prosecutors in New York made not to pursue Weinstein, isn't it?
Yeah. And yesterday, now more people are coming out. Gwyneth Paltrow, Angelina Jolie, both similar situations. You know, they were having lunch or dinner with him, and he talked him back into his hotel room and then asked them to get out the lotion and give him a massage.
Yeah.
And watch him take a shower. I mean, every case, it was the same.
So he goes to a sex addiction clinic and he comes back cured. Is that good? We're set with them. Hey, then second chances.
All about redemption and, you know,
you think?
but not in this case, because he's a rapist and he's lucky he hasn't been charged yet. One person he allegedly raped, Anthony Bourdain's Italian filmmaker girlfriend, who came forward on Twitter yesterday and told what happened to her. She thought she was going to a Miramax pre-party and she got in there and he's wearing a robe and he attacked her.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then the question of does he still have legal exposure, criminal legal exposure, I should be specific. And it's not clear. You know, statute of limitations varies state to state. It varies with respect to the potential charges that would be leveled. So it's not clear. Most of it seems to me, the rape allegations are 10 years plus ago.
Right. And her rape allegedly took place in the French Riviera.
And so, so there's...
So maybe the French officials could do something.
There's difficulties in this case, much as there were difficulties in the Cosby case, but ultimately they found a way.
What makes me sick about this, it took Hillary and the Obamas who...
Hey, it's safe now.
Yeah.
Hey, Hillary, Barack, Hollywood A-listers, you can pile on now. It's safe.
They trusted him so much that they let their daughter, Malia, intern for his company.
Yeah,
and
but
Hollywood
they're very upset about him right now, as of yesterday.
We'll give back the campaign money, but and I don't know what others think. 312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. But Hollywood knew so much about this that it was even a part of the 2013 Oscar nominations when they announced best 5 actresses up for this award.
Okay.
Seth MacFarlane joked about these women.
Congratulations, you 5 ladies no longer have to pretend to be attracted to Harvey Weinstein.
And on 30th episode of 30 Rock, Jane Krakowski.
Don't do it, J-Mo. You don't want to mess with Weird Al.
Oh, please. I'm not afraid of anyone in show business. I turned down intercourse with Harvey Weinstein on no less than 3 occasions out of 5.
Harvey Weinstein, God, of course, as Meryl Streep referred to him when she accepted her Best Actress Oscar for Iron Lady. So, yeah, they knew. And the press corps knew because, as Lee Smith wrote in Weekly Standard, the members of the press had been targeted. A New Yorker reporter recounts her story. A local Fox reporter recounts her story. And it took all of this time. And you mentioned Gwyneth Paltrow. Brad Pitt...
was her boyfriend at the time and confronted him at one of the red carpet events and said, don't ever touch her again.
Right.
Or else. He sent a message to him.
Men without chests.
Actually,
all of Hollywood's leading men, where were they? They knew. Seth MacFarlane's making jokes about it. They knew.
Angelina Jolie, she never worked with him again after he tried to rub her down.
So they knew.
Yeah, they all knew.
And they did nothing. So tell me if they're not, number one, men without chests, per C.S. Lewis, and my explanation of that. And number two, sort of, I mean, not in a legal sense, but in a moral sense, accomplices after the fact. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro.
And quickly, Lindsay Lohan has chimed in on this because she's a big Harvey Weinstein supporter, hoping that he stays with his wife because his wife now thought that this bad behavior. Yeah, she thought that he stopped this in 2007 when they got married, and the audio that we just played for you was from 2015.
Hi, this is Lindsay Lohan. Hi, I'm in Dubai. I'm home. And I feel very bad for Harvey Weinstein right now. I don't think it's right what's going on. I think Georgina needs to take a stand and be there for her husband. And he's never harmed me or done anything wrong to me. We've done several movies together. And so I think everyone needs to stop. I think it's wrong. So stand up.
Yeah, stand up.
What language
stand up
is
for
she speaking?
Stand up for Harvey Weinstein. I think Lilo may be on the sauce again. Or she's angling to be Harvey Weinstein wife number 3 when he gets back from rehab.
That's a possibility.
What a joke.
I know. He didn't touch you, honey, because you're crazy.
David and Skokie, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning, Dan. Good morning, Amy.
Morning.
I mean, you ask where are all the men in Hollywood? Where are all the feminists with their vagina hats sitting downtown in Chicago yelling about Harvey Weinstein?
We don't say
we
don't say the B word. We call it vajayjay, and we say pea hats.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'm just giving you the memo.
Well, that's a medical term. He's allowed to use it. Thanks for the call, David.
That's gross.
By the way, to David's point, all these men, including Harvey Weinstein, are allegedly feminists, aren't they?
Well, he did participate in a feminist rally parade in Utah recently for the Sundance Film Festival.
Great feminist, Harvey Weinstein.
He was up there with the ladies.
All you have to do is virtue signal and donate some money to the Pea Hat posse leader, Hillary, and you're in the club. How's it going? Ken in Geneva.
Hey, good morning. Just wanted to add that Harvey Weinstein is a symptom of a much bigger problem that's rampant in the entertainment industry and the music industry, and I've seen it happen to other people who are tremendous artists, and I think that it's great that the artists are starting to come out, and maybe there's a little bit of a cleansing process, but that whole industry is so phony, so fake, and so built up on perversion and people in power that I think that conversation ought to be strengthened so that more people can feel empowered to come out and expose some of the tragedies that take place, because there's a lot of artists out there that are hugely talented that are held back because they don't embrace a culture of perversion and sexual assault by the leaders in those industries. And it would be great to see those leaders exposed for what they've done.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, well said. Thanks for the call, Ken. And I'll tell you, it's interesting because Terry Crews, this is off topic but on topic, particularly with Ken's comments. Terry Crews is a former NFLer, played for the Raiders. He's a huge buff guy. But he's turned into quite a good actor. He's very funny on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Mm-hmm.
He tweeted out a whole thing yesterday. This happened to me regarding Harvey Weinstein. My wife and I were at a Hollywood function last year, and a high-level Hollywood executive came over to me and groped my privates at a Hollywood function. Jumping back, I said, "What are you doing?" My wife saw everything, and we looked at him like he was crazy. He just grinned like a jerk. I was going to kick his ass right then, but I thought twice about how the whole thing would appear. 240-pound black man stomps out Hollywood honcho would be the headline the next day. Only I probably wouldn't have been able to read it because I would have been in jail. So we left. The next day, I talked to everyone I knew that worked with him about what happened. He called me the next day with an apology, but never really explained why he did what he did. I decided not to take further action because I didn't want to be ostracized, par for the course when the predator has power and influence. So that's, that's speaking to what Ken said. There's a kind of a, embarrassing and uncomfortable testimonial from Terry Crews. Mike in Lake County.
Hey, the Obamas and the Clintons sound like Colonel Renault in Casablanca.
Yeah.
He walks in and says, "Rick, I'm shocked that there's gambling going on."
Right. As do many of the Hollywood A-listers. Thanks for the call, Mike. They're all outraged now that it's safe to be outraged. Jane in Burr Ridge.
Yeah, this is reminding me of when I was a young actress in L.A., and I was in an acting class with an old director named Harry Master George, and Melanie Griffith was in the class. And one night, there was a lot of talk going on, and real loud, you can always hear Melanie over anybody else. She said, "Well, Harry, everyone knows to be in a Bob Fosse film, you have to F Bob Fosse." Only she used the F word.
Right.
And there was silence for a minute, and then Harry said, "Well, Melanie, that's a fine thing for you to say. I mean, after all, you were in a Bob Fosse film." "Well, how do you think I know?"
Yeah.
It's rampant, and that's the way it is.
Yeah, and thanks for the call,
casting
Jane.
couch.
Interesting. And there's a difference between women who decide to use sex to advance their careers, which may be the case. It seems to at least be part of the case here, and women who are claiming they were raped or assaulted. Those are different things, and generate different conversations. Holly and Hudson.
Good morning. I've got news for everybody. In no way is this only in the entertainment industry. When I was a young girl starting out in the professional world, this goes on all the time. Just to get a job as a sales rep. This happens all the time. And I remember sitting at a sales meeting, and the older, more dignified Meryl Streeps of the sales force, as you were saying, "Gosh, nobody ever made it past at us." Meanwhile, they're surrounded by 22-year-old girls whose hairs are all messed up from taking the tour of the whatever. This goes on all the time in every sector of society.
So yeah.
We should start calling them out.
I'm sure that's true, but so how many people did you witness masturbating? I mean, how many people? I mean, we want to talk. How many people? How many people in your office made allegations of rape against your boss? I mean, this is not going on everywhere. I mean, do we have Sodom and Gomorrah in this country? Yeah. Is the Gore Vidal novel in a lot of sectors and a lot of particular businesses? Sure, but let's not pretend like this is some kind of normal what Harvey Weinstein was doing.
Well, I'd like to hear from other people, and now I'm old now, but I mean, this was happening 30 years ago, and it was well known.
Well,
I don't know a single friend that didn't experience something like this at one point in their career.
Well, thanks for the call, Holly. Yeah, of course, because man has fallen, and because louts have always existed and they always will, and predators have always existed and they always will. Of course, it didn't just start in the 21st century, but is the culture different? Is something different than it was in the 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago? Of course there are outliers, but this is about a cultural direction or drift at minimum. That's really the conversation. John in Mundelein.
I know you.
Yeah, see you later. Rob in Ukrainian Village.
Yeah, we have congressional hearings on steroid use and illegal recruiting in college basketball. Like, where's all the political concern and investigations into this from our leaders in Washington? Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Rob. Yeah, Mike. Well, I mean, there have been other serious allegations about Hollywood. Corey Feldman, Corey Haim, wasn't it both Corys? Corey Feldman, I know, is one, but they talked about, and again, I don't have any corroboration of this, but they raised the issue of, like, child sex rings in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't want to investigate that, or there's no evidence to suggest, or what's the story there? Neil in Elmwood Park.
Hey, Dan, how are you? Hey, listen, don't do me a favor. Don't ask me how many people I've seen masturbate. I was just on a tiny little radio show for like 4 months, so don't bring that up.
Okay, I won't.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So your read from men giving into their appetite and acting like pigs, in your comment just about culture. Culture hasn't changed. I mean, if you go all the way back and bring Sharia law into it, it's just a bunch of pigs running over everybody else that they control, and write it as a part of a religion that they can put word to it. Maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe,
I don't think so.
Well, I don't think these people ever could look in the mirror, right? Because if you did, how could you live with yourself? I don't know how you compromise that way. but maybe they looked in the mirror a little bit and said, you know what, it's not too far off of how we think. So maybe it's okay. Maybe that's where the acceptance comes from.
Thanks for the call, Neil. Appreciate it. Bill on the north side.
Hey, good morning, Dan. Good morning, Amy. I wanted to comment on that last caller, that woman that said this happens in all industries. I mean, sex is always something that's driving men's minds and women's minds. It doesn't mean that your boss is going to force his sexual desires and his sexual fantasies on you because you're a pretty young lady. Yes, pretty young ladies may get more of attention because the man may want to sleep with them and may want to take them out for a drink. Doesn't mean he forcibly rapes them and watches him masturbate in his office and peel over his plans.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for the call, but I mean, exactly. And here's the thing, objective truth. And as we have become a less religious nation, a more secular nation, a more my truth nation, this is changing the culture. Yes, there's always been bad guys and cowards, but there's something different about 21st century America than mid to late 20th century America or early 20th century America. There's something different because we've stopped celebrating honor. We tolerate everything as honor so long as somebody says this is honorable to me. It's a big difference.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll pick up the conversation with Ed Morrissey at hotair.com.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
59 and rain showers in Chicago. It's being called one of the worst firestorms in California history. Death toll from wildfires ranging in California and wine country is at least 17. 2,000 homes and businesses have been destroyed. About 20,000 have been evacuated from Sonoma and Napa counties, and more have been evacuated from a fire burning in Orange County, California. Ronan Farrow investigated the sex allegations against Harvey Weinstein for 10 months for the New Yorker magazine, telling NBC's Today Show a short time ago he found 13 women with claims against Weinstein ranging from groping to rape.
Each of these sources really tore their guts out giving these horrifying details. This was a traumatic experience to relive these events, and there was very little upside for them. This was a brave and important thing they did, and they did it because they thought it could prevent potentially future crime.
Farrow also uncovered an audio tape recorded by NYPD of a model getting Weinstein to admit to forcible touching. President Trump will be pushing his tax plan today in Pennsylvania. Protesters are waiting for Trump at the entrance to the Harrisburg Air National Guard base when he arrives. The U.S. Supreme Court is throwing out a challenge to President Trump's travel ban, the court dismissing an appeals court ruling that struck down the now expired previous ban targeting several, mostly Muslim, nations. Last night's Game 4 of the NLDS between the Cubs and Nationals at Wrigley postponed due to rain. That game expected to be played at about 3:08 this afternoon with a first pitch. Cook County commissioners putting a cork in the controversial penny-an-ounce sweetened drink tax. AM 560's David Stewart is reporting the full board is expected to officially approve the repeal today. If all goes as planned, the tax would end December 1st. Mayor Emanuel forced to cut ties with disgraced Hollywood executive Harvey Weinstein. Emanuel has donated nearly $11,000 in campaign contributions from the movie mogul to a mentoring group. Cubs and Nationals, Yankees and Indians, both with division series games scheduled for this afternoon. Blackhawks score 3 unanswered. The poll passed the Canadiens in Montreal 3-1. Bulls upend the Cavaliers 108-94. Rookie big man Lauri Markkanen 18 off the bench. The news service of Staples. Staples has solutions to keep your business safe and protected. Keep your tech and data safe, backed up, and protected from viruses. Now get a free security check for your PC at Staples. Details in-store or at staples.com/security. In-store only, ends 10/28. Staples. It's pro time. 8:32 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
you really deserve? Hi, I'm Dean Cain, actor, director, and real estate investor, and I have to tell you about this amazing opportunity you just can't afford to miss. The National Real Estate Network is offering a free DVD called My Network is My Net Worth, where you can see for yourself the house flipping system that has taken the nation by storm. Who would have thought creating a network of thousands of investors working together to find, fund, buy, or sell properties for profit was so simple? So if you're ready to start making money flipping houses, call now to get your free DVD.
Call 1-800-437-1471 now for your free DVD and learn how to get started making thousands of dollars flipping houses. Call 800-437-1471 immediately, and you'll also get free tickets to a live training event where you'll receive a free meal and a gift package worth hundreds of dollars just for attending. Call 800-437-1471. That's 800-437-1471 and get your free DVD today.
Shopping for your next luxury vehicle? Looking to save time with an easy, honest experience? That's what you get at Continental Audi of Naperville. We have over 180 new Audi vehicles to choose from, and we are the only Audi dealer with a test track. For a limited time, lease the award-winning 2017 Audi A4 Premium for $439 a month, or lease a 2018 Audi A6 for $569 a month. Drive an Audi and feel the difference. Drive an Audi from Continental and experience the difference an exceptional dealer can make. Visit us at ContinentalAudi.com or Continental Audi in Naperville at Aurora and Ogden Avenues. Experience the Continental Audi difference, where smiles are standard equipment. ContinentalAudi.com. 36-month leases, A4-3554 and A6-4684. Due at signing, plus tax, title, license, and acquisition fee extra. Must qualify through Audi Financial Services. See dealer for full details.
All right, I have to admit it was an eyesore. The chipping and paint peeling on our front and back porch, it looked awful. But thanks to CertaPro painters, the porch looks brand new. The painters who showed up were professional, respectful. They were done in just a few hours, and when they left, the house looked brand new. They really are the best in the business, and it's not too late to book your exterior painting project. There are several spots open on CertaPro's schedule. Here's an idea. Let CertaPro painters transform your home while you're on vacation and return to a freshly painted house. They're celebrating their 25th anniversary this year, and so we invite you to experience the CertaPro difference. For a free estimate, call 1-800-GO-CERTA, C-E-R-T-A, or visit CertaPro.com, that's Certa with the C. Get that painting project off your to-do list. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro painters, we do painting, you do life.
8:35. Let's get an update on the morning commute in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with all the latest. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The inbound Kennedy's heavy from Austin to the Burn Circle. It is an hour and 14 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 45 minutes from Montrose, 32 in the Express. Outbound, 46 minutes to Montrose, an hour and 7 minutes to the airport. Eden's 27 minutes. Lake Cook to the Junction, outbound 45. The Eisenhower, an hour and 26 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, an hour 5 from Manheim. Outbound 53 minutes to Manheim, an hour 18 to Thorndale. Stevenson, an hour and a half, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 50 minutes. Ryan is 35 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 55 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, an hour and 6 minutes. Tri-State southbound, still Washington to 60th. The Adams Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound, jammed I-57 to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to Lawrence. Adams Tollway heavy from Toohey to the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway from Orchard to Washington. 3:55 to the Eisenhower. The Veterans Memorial, very heavy. 159th Street to near St. Charles. North Avenue to 290. 53 heavy as well. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Jim, thank you. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Little breezy today. Morning rain showers continue to fall. Maybe some drizzle this afternoon for the ride home. High 63. Cloudy and 54 overnight. Currently, officially light rain and 59 at O'Hare. Next news at 9, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Empowered Investing, the show dedicated to investors. Heard Saturdays at noon right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues now. And make sure to stay tuned to catch me, Mike Gallagher, coming up at 9, only on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Picking up our discussion of the human stain, Harv the Perv, Harvey Weinstein. Tweeter reminds me of a couple things, too, because one angle here that we haven't discussed in detail is the media. And we talked about the men of chess in Hollywood, the men without chess, in Hollywood. What about the media? We know in 2004, the New York Times spiked a story. We know NBC passed on the story. We know this was going on for decades, basically in full view, with a lot of people knowing, including the media, and they did nothing. And I'm reminded by tweets from Chicago Hound. Remember People Magazine? They did a 2-page spread honoring Anthony Weiner and Uma after Sextgate.
Right, because he had gone to rehab, and there was, some redemption, second chances. But then he did it again, and then he did it again with a 15-year-old, and now he's going to be going to jail soon for 21 months.
Also, a reminder, NAACP honoring former Los Angeles Clippers owner Donald Sterling.
Oh,
remember?
With the Instagram? Why don't you stay off that Instagram?
And, of course, the point that the tweeter makes is everyone who is now attacking the human stain and writing about him was enabling him the day before yesterday.
Well,
and that's of course certainly true of the A-listers and the politicians, starting with a former presidential candidate named Hillary and a former president named Barack, who finally find it safe enough to weigh in.
They like the money. I mean, he donated $1.4 million to the DNC and to Democratic candidates, and maybe that's why the media didn't pick up on it, because it would make their candidates look bad. It would make the president look bad.
And status. These are their people. This is their circle. That can't be underestimated. The combine between media, like DC Press Corps, Chicago Press Corps, and the big government political establishment, and certainly the glitzy Hollywood left. And so the question, maybe Hollywood will start to suffer the same fate as the NFL. People who otherwise don't really pay attention to Hollywood from a political perspective may now see just how much it has become, how much it is Caligula, not become, it has been, but this is perhaps the most grotesque manifestation of it in recent memory.
I mean, he was worse than an animal, what he did, especially to potted plants.
Yeah, that's the line that you've drawn. The potted plants, poor potted plants. Speaking more to this topic, I should say, is Ed Morrissey. He's senior editor for HotAir.com and a columnist for The Week. Ed, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Ed, thank you for having me on.
So what's your take on, the media's coverage of this so far? So Ronan Farrow had this great piece in The New Yorker, 11 months of investigative work, so maybe he's an outlier. But, all the congratulations from the New York Times story from a couple days ago and the press pretending like that, they deserve significant credit for bringing this to light after essentially covering it up for so many years.
Yeah, this is a point that I think is really interesting when it comes to Ronan Farrow, because I think it's the most stark contrast that you have here. Ronan Farrow is under contract to NBC. NBC is insisting that it's a non-exclusive contract, and clearly that's the case because he ended up taking the piece to the New Yorker, but only after NBC passed on publishing it. Now, NBC is insisting today and last night that the form of the story that Farrow brought them was not anywhere close to the form of the story that was published in the New Yorker, but that doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, Farrow, if it needed more work, Farrow would have done it with NBC. And if they had wanted to publish it, and because NBC is a bigger platform than the New Yorker, and it would have gotten a lot more. It would have had a lot more impact. Plus, he's already there. And my understanding from reporting from Lloyd Grove over at the Daily Beast and a couple other sources is that Farrow had this pretty much locked down, and that's exactly what Farrow told Rachel Maddow last night on MSNBC, was that he had the story. NBC didn't want to publish it. He didn't want to get into why they didn't want to publish it, but he noted that Weinstein and his legal team and Hollywood exerted a lot of pressure on a lot of journalists over a lot of years to not report on Weinstein, and basically, I think he was letting the viewers connect the dots on that. It just seems like, yes, there's been a lot of intimidation going on to keep journalists from going into this, but then you have to look at the outlets themselves. An outlet like NBC, the New York Times, which had the story in 2004 and declined to publish it, other outlets that had this and didn't do anything with it. How much of that is pressure? How much of that is just being part of the same party crowd as Weinstein and other executives in Hollywood?
Yeah, and I just, this has been going on for 30 plus years. How in the world did his board members not know? How in the world do politicians not know? When they're even making jokes about it, the 2013 Grammy or Oscar announcements, and they're making fun of Harvey Weinstein on 30 Rock, and they don't know?
No, everybody knew. The Weinstein Company board put out a statement yesterday saying that it's absolutely untrue that the board had any knowledge of Weinstein's activities. He had people in his organization that were basically pimping for him, looking for vulnerable young women to send to Harvey Weinstein to satisfy his appetite.
That was the story about Lombardo, the head of Miramax Italy, and also the Ronan Farrow story. 16 former and current executives and assistants at Weinstein's companies. But the board had no idea. Okay.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, one of whom was his brother.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Now he didn't always get along with his brother, and that's pretty much public record. There were months when they didn't speak to each other, but he's still his brother. And and they founded this company together. So my guess is that his brother understood how Harvey operated, and certainly would have had some clues based on the fact that people like Angelina Jolie refused to work with him again. Those types of things tend to get around. People talk, and as a few of the sources in both the Times and the New Yorker pieces say, this was an open secret. People were warning warning women not to be in a room alone with Harvey Weinstein. Well, why? Right? If that's the case, if that's the open secret, then clearly people understood that there was a risk, and a risk of what? It wasn't that he was going to pop open, the Bible in the hotel room and start doing readings from the Old Testament. I mean, that wasn't what the risk was, right? I mean, it's pretty obvious that people knew that there was sexual, at least harassment going on in these meetings, and they turned a blind eye to it. They didn't talk about it.
And there were payouts, and then there's this New York Police Department undercover sting and no prosecution. And so State's Attorney Vance has some questions to answer as well.
Yeah, especially after his campaign got the $10,000 donation from Weinstein's attorney shortly after deciding not to prosecute. I mean, there's a whole lot of things that smell here.
Well, will Hollywood forgive him? Because he said, after he goes to this rehab, he wants to come back and he wants his job back. He wants to be a producer. He wants to be the big man on campus again. Do you see that happening?
Well, I don't see him going back to the company that he's from. No, I mean, anybody can put together if he can find the money to put together to finance a film. I mean, it's sort of it's an open market in that case, right? I mean, if he can find people who want to work with him, he could find a way to rebuild his career. The problem is going to be that nobody's going to want to touch the guy, literally and figuratively.
Yes, well,
I don't want to.
Or otherwise.
Yeah.
And so I don't know that. I just think that he is so toxic at the moment that I certainly don't see how anybody in Hollywood would be able to justify working with the guy again. And I got to be honest with you. This is not the only context in which these types of things occur. I'm a devout Catholic, but we had that problem in our church. We've had that problem in our church. Where people where supposedly people were being rehabilitated and put back into positions of authority and abusing all over again. I don't think that that's going to fly anymore, and it shouldn't fly anymore.
Absolutely. Switching gears, the NFL. You had a piece about how the national anthem protests are failing at theweek.com. Michael Wilbon, also speaking of fellow travelers of the left in the media, Michael Wilbon over at ESPN on his show with Tony Kornheiser saying of Jerry Jones, announcement that anybody who doesn't stand for the anthem will be benched. The word comes to mind, I don't care who doesn't like me using it, is plantation. These players are here to serve me, and they will do what I want, no matter how much I pay them. They are not equal to me. That's what this says to me and mine. Your reaction?
Tony Kornheiser?
No, Michael Wilbon.
Oh, I'm sorry, Michael Wilbon. Okay, I was going to say, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought it was Tony Kornheiser saying that. Michael Wilbon, okay. I mean, these players are employees. They're multi-million dollar employees in a lot of cases, and they work for an employer.
Wait a second. Hold on. I just want to make sure I understand this. So you're saying they're not slaves?
Yeah, they're not slaves. They can go out and do something else. They can, if they wanted to, they could try to form their own league. I understand that Puff Daddy was talking about starting up a different football league, a parallel football league, and to compete with the NFL, where the players can do whatever they want. And God bless him. If he wants to try to launch that, he's got the money. Feel free to do it. But it's like any other organization. You know, I have certain rules where I work, and if I cross those rules, I can be fired. I can be punished, and so I operate under the rules for the employment that I have. The same thing's true in the NFL. You know, you didn't hear people making this big of a deal when players were trying to put 9/11 memorials on their shoes and being fined and told not to do it. You didn't hear as big of a complaint when players were told they had to interact with reporters at post-game conferences after the game, when the league, and I think rightfully so, closed the access to the locker room for reporters. And so that's compelled speech, that's speech limitation, and I think that this is, comparing this to slavery is absolute nonsense. I mean, I understand that people think that there's a First Amendment right to say whatever you want to say, regardless of where you're at. But that's simply not the case. When you are in a voluntary association, which is what employment is, your employer has the right to set limitations on your speech in the workplace. And the NFL field is a workplace.
And perhaps the most depressing thing about this is just how ignorant people are of the Constitution and free speech rights and this relationship. I mean, they not even in real time can do. Is there any thought? So Google can fire James Damore, but the NFL teams can't tell their players they can't kneel before the anthem. I mean, there's just no dot connecting going on. People can complain about Tim Tebow kneeling and praying before a game, and it's like separation of church and state or some such thing. I mean, the silliness of the arguments coming from ESPN anchors, coming from news reporters, coming from, the Al Sharptons, which is a usual repository of silly ideas and statements, but still, it's really kind of depressing.
It is. And Damore's case wasn't a First Amendment case either.
Right.
Damore's case was just a case of hypocrisy, which I think was rightfully called out. But it wasn't a First Amendment case. This is not a First Amendment case either. Nobody's telling these players that they can't go off on their own time someplace other than their employer's workplace and conduct free speech and protest. They can do that all day long. And God bless them if they do. I mean, that's part of what it means to be American. But if in the workplace, the employer has the right to set conditions on speech, and standing for the national anthem, I think, is a pretty low limitation. I mean, I think that's actually sort of a basic thing that people should be doing anyway. And if they don't want to do it, don't come out of the locker room. I think that they should be allowed to do that too. They should be allowed to stay in the locker room if that's what they want to do.
And we have good news this morning. Twitter has backtracked. Now they're allowing Marsha Blackburn's pro-life campaign ad on their site because she talked about selling body parts, baby body parts.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I did. I saw this. So Twitter is now getting out of the business of being editor of political messages from candidates. I mean, this was a really stupid idea to begin with. And basically what they did was they gave Marsha Blackburn all sorts of anti-establishment credibility for running for this office.
No question.
Twitter's against her. She's, the social justice warriors are attacking Marsha Blackburn. She couldn't have scripted that better if she tried.
He is Ed Morrissey, senior editor at hotair.com, columnist for the week. His recent piece, Why the National Anthem Protests Are Failing. Ed, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it. And this somebody dug up this statement, tweeted it out just real quick. Harvey Weinstein, in a statement of support for Roman Polanski in 2009.
Oh.
Hollywood has the best moral compass because it has compassion.
Oh, creepy.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I sing your praises all the time because I was very run down. I was getting bronchitis all the time. And ever since I started taking this, at the first sign of a sniffle, by the next day, it's gone.
Love it. Great product. Yeah, I should have taken it years ago. It works. You know, your skin is better, your blood pressure is down, and stuff like that.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND. That's promo code WIND.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. Illinois is the land of the political cautionary tale. From Denny Hastert to Jesse Jackson Jr. to Aaron Schock to Rod Blagojevich, Illinois Pauls are featured in more tawdry tabloid stories than grainy photos of Sasquatch. But it's all too real in Illinois, and has gotten real ugly for kinda sorta Republican Governor Bruce Rauner. In the last month, the wealthy salesman turned politician has busied himself selling manure-smelling air freshener to the electorate in the form of transgender birth certificates, a sanctuary state designation, and establishing himself as the first governor in U.S. history to mandate taxpayer funding for abortion on demand. In his 3 years as governor, Rauner, who campaigned as having no social agenda, has advanced only a social agenda, and one rooted in cultural Marxism to boot. So as Rauner's poll numbers continue to read like a Chicago thermometer in February, here's the moral of the Rauner candidate profile. Look for the Hank Reardons and look out for the James Taggarts. There's nothing wrong with an outsider businessman, so long as you remember that financial success is not a substitute for core principles, and that business acumen and courage can be mutually exclusive.
With the holidays approaching, now's the perfect time to purchase 2 gifts and only pay for 1. Or give a gift and keep 1 for yourself. Yes, folks, the MyPillow buy 1, get 1 free offer is back. I urge you to go online or call now and take advantage. By using the promo code Amy, you'll get the absolute best deal available. I personally love my MyPillows. I get a great night's sleep by moving the fill to give me the support I need, regardless of my sleep position. And I never wake up with a stiff neck or headache. They're made in America. You can wash and dry them. They're hypoallergenic, plus have a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. And it's great to know you're supporting a company that helped thousands of hurricane victims. So get your buy 1, get 1 free MyPillows as gifts or for yourself by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit MyPillow.com. That's 800-489-0201, promo code Amy.
Napa know-how.
It takes a lot to get excited about a bag, but most bags can't save you 20% on auto parts. That's 20% off headlamps, 20% off oil filters, 20% off virtually anything you can fit inside the 99-cent Napa reusable bag. So tell your buddies, there's a bag they just have to check out. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Minimum 3 items. Exclusions apply. Offer ends 10/31/17.
Allergy sufferers, my name's Nigel, and as a well-educated owl, I know the difference between what's wise and unwise. Texting after 3 glasses of Merlot? Unwise. Using Zysol for 24-hour relief of your allergy symptoms? Quite wise, because Zysol is just as effective at hour 24 as it is at hour 1, relieving your symptoms for a better night's sleep and a more productive day. So for continuous 24-hour allergy relief, don't be unwise. Be wise all. Take Zysol. Use as directed.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I started out vomiting with migraines at the age of 19, and about 10 years later, it got to the point where it was almost every day. This stuck with me for about another 20 years. When I was introduced to this Balance of Nature, I couldn't believe how quickly the triggers that would cause these migraines just went away.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND. That's balanceofnature.com. Promo code WIND.
Roof is needy?
Call Grumweedy.
Roof is leaky?
Call Grumweedy.
Shingles are curly?
Call Grumweedy.
Roof isn't right after it's stormy?
Call Grumweedy.
Here comes winter. Well, soon. This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson of Crumweedy.
A third-generation family business.
We're conservative just like you.
We've been doing Chicagoland roofs since 1953.
Really good roofs.
The difference is installation.
Hey, we know that. That's why we follow the manufacturer